here. Kazna obviously trying something. I mean, that's a very hard tactic to execute. Very hard. I mean, most teams go towards a northern cap because it's a lot easier to get your head around. That left side has got a lot more factors to deal with. And despite the fact that Wusa really had to kind of sacrifice a little bit to take down Hyper, the positions Kazaku had to put themselves in to get that camp underway, to get the pressure on the way, really kind of gave Wusa the actual advantage because those tanks could get shot so easily.
Now they're going to switch sides, though. We're going to see Kazna on the defense and Worcester on the attack. Does that change things here? Because it's 2-0 so far, and it does seem quite one-sided. Scoreline, at least. Probably in-game, not so much, but, you know, read into it what you will. Would you say that Kazna have a greater chance now on the defending side?
Well, it only takes one spark of excellence to pick up a round, and that's the thing here. Kazna's given away their chance to bring this score into a 3-1. Now it's Wooster's chance, essentially. I mean, you can look at that. The defending team is automatically got the advantage, but the attacking team only needs to do something right once, and they will be at such an advantage going into the next map if it is that first map. So Kazna's got everything to play for in terms of defending, but Wooster's got even more to go forwards, to play the tactics they want to do, to play the style they have. Maybe have some interesting tricks up the sleeve, some interesting tactics. Lineups are going to be very important as well. So we got all those things we want to be thinking about. And I would be worried if I was Kazna. I'd be worried because Wooster's a team that can attack. They've shown that in the past countless times before. They've been absolutely fantastic. Yes, they got trounced by Virtus Pro in the previous match day, but they still came pretty close on a number of occasions, and I didn't think it was that one-sided. So I would be worried if I was Kazna, and I would be worried if I was Wooster if they don't pick up one the next 2 rounds.
I agree. We're going to have to see. This is crunch time now. I think the first 2 kind of set the pace, and then that 3rd round is always the really important one because it either gets you so close to match point or back in the game. That even though you can kind of do the same thing in that final round on the first map, I think the major point is that if you get there first, just morally, you know, the morale of the team, even should I say, gets so changed on that sort of pivotal marker. So that's what I'm looking out for. That's what I think we should be seeing coming up in this game, is how well these teams develop. And I think they are just locking in their lineup, so it shouldn't be long now. Hashtag WGLEU. Scoreline so far is 2-0 in favour to Wusa. Is that what you expect? Did you think Kazna's slumping a little, or are they building back into it? That's the thoughts you have to get through to us. Any kind of pickups on this game, player you feel's doing well, player maybe who hasn't had the impact as per usual. All these questions you can give us the answer to on Twitter. That's what I want to hear. And for you, how's this looking so far in the scoreline? Are you going to put a prediction down?
I'm going to go 3-1 to Wusa. I really do think they have something prepared here. And, you know, Kazza showed some flair on the attack, but just not enough. So I'm going to go 3-1 to Wusa. The lineups look pretty solid for them. Nothing unusual. They got the T37, the triple IS3, the double 5100, and the T32, so normal stuff. You can think about the T32 will go over towards the left side, so I'm not sure. I mean, the T32 does indicate, as I said before, the left side push like Hyber did previously, and maybe that's what the teams have been training a little bit more on Himmelsdorf as the meta does change and develop as we go through the season. And from Kazna, who are defending, they got the KV2 like Worcester did. They got the IS3 ×2, the double 5100, and of course another T32. So we can think again where they'll be sitting, probably up towards the northern side. They haven't got a T37, so they're not going to be quick. They got the KV2 for the damage. So it's going to be interesting. I'm, of course, wondering what Woos is going to do more than what Kazna will.
So you're still sticking with your 3-1?
3-1.
All right. Do you guys at home, do you agree? Hashtag WGLEU. I cannot tell you enough, and I'll constantly remind you until you do it. So go and get Melly working. You know, she doesn't do enough during her day. She give me dirty looks when I say that, but do get some tweets to her so she has something to talk to us about. Otherwise, she'll be very tired, very bored, and give you dirty looks to the camera, which is what you don't want. Anyway, back to the game. Almost game time now between these two once again. Ollie predicts a 3-1. I might even push to a 4-0. I'm going to have faith in you, Wooster. Don't let me down. So, guys, let's turn our attention to getting into game. It is time to see who's going to really break ahead now. Wooster are leading 2 rounds in this, but now they're on the attack. They're down in the south in red and in the north in blue. It's Kazna on the defense.
Yeah, a switcheroo has happened, of course. It's 7:54. If you guys haven't played it before, 2 times on the attack, then 2 to 5 times on the defense. We switch maps and play another map, and if we have to, we go to a tiebreaker map, which today is Murovanka. So, Siege, left side with the T37, we've got the 5100 behind. Looks like Wusa are playing for that left side as I did. think about with that T32, you've got the 5100 going on the hill, so it's kind of what Kazna did in the previous round when they were attacking. So the 5100 will snipe into the A3 line, and then whatever happens after them will dictate, oh, not even the 5100 and IS3, very interesting. So no sniping is going to come out. They are going to push up the one line, towards the one line, towards A line, put the tanks through the middle and probably go for that northern cap at some point.
I was going to say, why would you put an IS-3 on the hill rather than the 5100 maybe?
Well, the thing is, I mean, the 5100 definitely better sniper. They got more damage, more accuracy, more penetration. It's a lot easier to snipe with, but you can't really put it into the cap, and that's what Neopazorni wants to be doing. He's such a great player. I love to see him playing for Wusa. It's good that he's found a home finally. So you can see Wusa pushing through the middle, T37 joining Neopazorni on the hill, and it looks like the cap is the way they are going. I want to see how the execution comes down. It is all about the execution on Himmelsdorf, because there's only a very limited amount of things you can do on this map. You saw, for instance, WSD Gaming and GG Well Played, how they tried to change things up, and unfortunately for WSD it just didn't work out. So sticking to the status quo is not necessarily always a bad thing. Neopazorni now hiding down. He's got to stick to that A-line wall as much as he can so he doesn't get spotted. Wait for his team to get into position, and then the encroach onto the cap will start.
Yeah, slowly is Wusa heading in, and they seem so much more individually focused towards one goal as a collective rather than Kazna's play. But you know, whether or not that actually helps down the line, I don't know. It could make a big difference. It could hinder them. I'm not sure. But still, Neopazorni getting close. The IS3's heading up that 5 to 6 line. T37 still in the back. The 5100's just behind. And now we wait for that final move. They're actually being quite swift about this, considering the time Neopazorni gets caught trying to adjust around. A little bit of a shame there, but Plunkett, Schnitzel and Stefan ready to go.
Yeah, and that's because LD Nex is actually on the reload, so it's a good time for Wusa to go through, but Schnitzel being roasted as he does cross.
Huge amounts of damages received there, and that's massive for Wusa to suffer such a blow so early on. And Schnitzel now down to, I wouldn't say necessarily a one-shot, but certainly very, very low. 275 for him. Not ideal in any way, shape or form. But the cap still continues, and it will force Kazna to make a play. But look at the HP difference now. 6.9k against 9k solid. This could hurt. Plunkett going even lower than Schnitzel. 2 tanks now down to such low amounts. They're going to be struggling to hold this one through. Stefan's still comfortable. The 5100s and IS3s still in position. But even with the singular focus, it seems that Wusa may be lacking that HP they really need.
That's the problem. I mean, even if they do have the cap on the way for the next 20 to 30 seconds, the amount of hit points Wusa has, Kaznaku has over Wusa, will allow them just to do whatever they want like that. Hyper peaking, but LD Nex just finding the copula of FKK and taking him down. The star player for Wusa does fall.
Certainly does. He may be able to lead from the back lines, but Ruster starting to begin the rotate round the back. Satan going to be waiting and watching Siege on the overwatch, but Stefan down to nothing. This attack may have just been beaten black and blue by the time this is done, and Kazna starting to suffer in HP, but still, they've got such a hold on this game, it seems.
They've got 2k more. The T37 on the hill as well, not really doing too much at this point in time. Cap not on the way. Elian taking down Stefan with a pixel shot there. Fantastic work from him. Elian showing why he's one of the top players in the scene to this day. And now Satan still wants to find German Break, who's just about coming off reload. Doesn't really have to worry about German Break too much in that T32, but he's not willing to go forwards because of Vetso. Now, does he realize Vetso's reloading? That's a question. The T37 still pounding away some damage, but none of it really connecting, nothing really doing anything. So I see the options for Wusa pretty much as 0. They've lost too much HP. They lost 2 tier 8 tanks, and Kazna haven't lost any of that.
Exactly, and 2 minutes now remaining. Kazna are just in coasting mode almost. For Wusa to still pull this off, they'd need to pull out something very special. Find a way in. Elian, probably not that way in. Showing how the T32 can be played. Just setting himself in there. 1k damage so far, not huge, but the staying power of that T32 is impressive. However, putting LD Nexus in that position certainly would have a little more damage, but still, Terra heading round on the rotate. Maybe a dangerous one to go for. Cobrion has found Plunkett, so maybe Wusa Really starting to feel the pressure here as Terra going to try and open up a path, but he's going to take a lot of damage for this one. One more shell, he needs it quickly. He finally gets some support, but Vetso immediately gets the avenging kill. And now just 3 left for Wusa. I think they're out of options.
Yeah, 3 left, and one's a T-37. Near Pizzoni receives a big 400 shell damage there. 400 damage shell there, completely the wrong way around that time. But Spoink still remains with a tasty amount of hit points, and Pizzoni getting lucky tracks only being found. It's a nice little trick if you guys have noticed it. The guys don't side scrape with the front of their tank, but instead the side and back of their tank, because you can angle it a lot easier. And of course the front of the i3 is pretty much just as easy to penetrate as the back. You don't really have to expose any of that, anything else apart from the side of your tank if you do it on the back. With great stuff from there. The only thing you can really penetrate is the top of the turret. But still, Spoink, last one who can really do anything, tries to do some damage of his own, but look how many tanks still remain for Kazaku. I think it's game over.
It's fantastic to see how Kazna have actually maintained numbers. They needed this win as well. Otherwise, that 3-0 scoreline would have been irrevocable, and Kazna do pick up the first battle on that second half, so they needed that to kind of break the confidence building from Wusa. And take me through what really went wrong for Wusa then on their attack, because it seemed that they were always at a disadvantage then.
They just received a lot of damage when they went across. Kazna crew, because Nia Pizzoni peaked early, well, he didn't peak early, he got spotted pretty early, and that basically swung all the Kazna crew turrets around, and they managed to do a lot of damage on the side, like probably about 1.5k. We've seen plenty of teams get across there without really receiving too much, but you can see about 1.5k, maybe even 2k damage just coming straight onto these guys. And despite their lack of focus fire to Plunk, it also getting tracked basically gives Kazna another 600 damage onto them. So they've got 2 tier 8 tanks down to about 40%. FKK Schnitzel receives another one, and he actually falls first, and that gives Elian and the rest of Kazna crew their way into that game. So not the best round there for Musa, and I think it was a little bit too like tunnel vision, you know. They just went for one objective, and I think they should have changed it up a little bit. But yeah, I might revise my score down to 2-all as we go into the next map.
You can't do that. You just be wrong. Like, I'm already wrong. I accept that I am now totally wrong. You, however, have stuck with your 3-1.
Yeah,
you said it happened in this game. Exactly. You have to stick with it. You can't just change.
Well, it's before the matter, so it's all good. I mean, they haven't played the next round anyway. It's fine.
That's not how this works. But still, I think even I said then it looked like a singular focus.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be good to have that one focus, but it does become very readable, and it does become very easy to ascertain an advantage there. So maybe that's what tipped it in the favour of Kazna that time, and Kazna certainly needed it, sitting almost at, not necessarily match point, but a huge disadvantage going into the second map. Now with 1 point under their belt, hopefully they can build a little more, but I don't know. I'm waiting to see what they can bring out now. Wusa, it's down to Wusa really. Once you're on the attacking side, you have so much to define, and unless the defending side, which is Kazna, will actually make a decisive move, it's all in Wusa's hands to bring the play. We'll have to wait and see what they bring. Tank-wise, is it quite similar?
Pretty similar. Mixture of 5100s, IS3s, and T32s, as you would expect.
It's Himmelsdorf.
Yeah, it's Himmelsdorf. KV2 played by Kobleon. It's one of the other tanks you can pick. I mean, we've seen that tank do like 2k damage when it does penetrate with the HE ammo.
Yep.
Which is only going to really do against 5100s and Waffentragers, but still when it does a lot of damage. Also good against hull down tanks. I mean, we've seen the KV3 before, but I don't know. I think the KV2 hits the mark and seems to be one of the favorites now from the team. So yeah, at the moment 2-1 is a scoreline still in favor of Wusa because they won both their defending sides, but Kazna has to defend this one correctly, otherwise they'll go into the next map at a disadvantage.
Let's see if they can do it. Kazna, it's down to you boys. Can you bring the score back or even live up to the reputation of what this game should be? One of the best of the season. 2-1 currently. Wusa is in the lead. But can they further that on the attacking side? Currently sitting at a 0 pickup on the attacking side here, but they can work on it. Battle number 4. They are in the south, of course, Wusa, and in the north it's going to be Kazna. And looking at how it's building so far, this looks very different from Wusa. Yeah,
they're all going towards the hill, like in Himmelsdorf. You got it's a bit like 754. You got a set piece on Himmelsdorf. You got a few of them, but it's still a set piece, like you would have in football. One of them is going through the middle, one of them's doing a split push, and one of them is hitting that northern cap from the hill and from the middle. So you got a few things you can do on this map as the attacker, and well, you need to do the one correctly to pick up a round. Now Wusa going slightly further forwards. I mean, they're clearly not concerned about time. A minute in and they're pretty much in the base of Kazna crew. But you can see the Kazna crew stack is pretty normal. They got the IS-3 in the A2 area. Yes, it's not 5100, but IS-3 is definitely preferred by these teams these days because it can put itself into better situation. Side scrape, but Ian shoots. He won't spot these crossing tanks. He will actually. This what annoys me. I mean, necessarily have to be spotted, but they are. And that's going to give the jig up for Wusa and what they're doing. But still, there's only very few things you can do on this map, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, limited options in this one. I really want to see Wusa win an attacking side. I want to see Kazna under real pressure, like at those kind of 3-1 score lines. However, 5 minutes left. Wusa's going to have to find something here. Last time they struggled with this quite decisive straight play. Nipazorni got caught out so early on last time. Is he he's already kind of keeping in mind that positioning that he had to adjust for.
Yeah, he's being more careful.
Yeah. And was it unlucky he got caught out last time?
Oh, it was very unlucky.
Oh, okay.
The front of his tank got penetrated at such a weird angle. It was pretty unlucky, but he does well this time. LD Nexus receives the first shell of this game, 380 damage. Not a particularly high roll, but a good one nonetheless. And well, you got the T-37 on the hill, still providing support in the middle, and it's going to be there to pest the Kazna crew from behind if it does have to. Stefan's keep on peeking, and the thing is, they've only got Terra Satan in the middle line, the kind of 5-6 line, which does suggest to me that, well, they're not going to come from that direction for the cap. They're not going to push through like they did last time, where they received a lot of damage. Instead, going to put Nipazorni and the Plunkett in there once they've done enough damage against LD Nexus.
Yeah, 92 seconds. It's a long old cap, and that 92 seconds they'll fill every single second of it as well. So, looking at this way, 4 minutes until we find out who's going to go in with either a chance or a huge advantage. Already Stefan looking for it. This time, Wusa not taking as much damage early on, so a significant improvement already. At the moment, just long-range exchanges. When's that real commitment going to come in?
I think any day now. Any second now, I think, actually. Yeah, probably better word there. But Wusa clearly chomping at the bit to push forwards, and I think it's going to come out. They just really hope that they could do more damage against Elian or LD Nexus, or hope that someone from Kazakh who's going to peak before they have to make a move. 3 minutes and 12 seconds, pretty much 15 seconds left on the clock, and they are starting to push forwards. They got that 5100 there in support now, and that's the real difference. So they are clearly working up to something. I think it might even be during Terra Satan, and I think maybe a push is going to come out now into the cap, but I want to see what this 5100s do.
Keep your eyes on them. Keep your eyes just minding where they are, what they do, how they go into play, because it looks very similar to how this one went down last time. Similar positions, different route to it. It didn't work before, and I worry it won't work again. Last time around, we saw issues coming with Schnitzel being picked up so early on. This time, going low, but not going down, and we actually Cobra Leone in that slightly different tank. I like seeing that in play. Wondering how much damage it's really doing. Vetso there, 305 so far. Nothing too major, but HP overall slightly lower for Wusa. And on the attacking side, you want to keep it so much higher, but once again, Schnitzel going down first.
Yeah, Elian getting the better of Schnitzel with 2 shells there. Only 1 going on to Elian. It's a really hard shot to make, like, not exactly a pixel shot, but you haven't got that much room, and you've got to predict it perfectly. You've got to really, really make sure that you are connecting that. So, not going well for Wusa again. It's going a little bit better than it did last time. You got the 5100 versus T32. Vetso is actually going to have to go around because 5100 is actually struggling at German break, which he shouldn't be, and he will set on fire, clearly not using that extinguisher.
No, certainly not. And Spoink now going to head around the corner, have to kind of pick up the pieces. And once again, Wusa seems a little lost for direction. They're keeping closer on the HP, but there doesn't seem to be that big spark, that one massive thing that they do that really offsets them on the attacking side, and both teams seemingly coming into their own on the defensive. Spoink might be able to take down German Bray here. German Bray's still got a little bit of a wait where he has a shell available, but Vetso looking like he wants to help him out. Spoink doesn't realize it. Spoink goes straight into this, but Vetso now has 2 tanks on him, 2 5100s. Vetso a little bit too eager to come around support. Does go down, and now Kazna actually struggling here.
It's doing very well now. The KV2 does fall, not a big deal, but Hyvy gets a little bit more cover for it, and because Vetzer went down, because German Break went down, Wusun have a way in.
Well, this is certainly different. Maybe Kasner getting a little bit overzealous into this one and maybe believing it was one before it was, because right now it's just Ruster left alive, and I'm going to have to throw this to you in a bit to break down exactly what went wrong.
Should have hit that one there on the side. Not good.
The cap. You can see them having to double up on that cap then, because they were getting a little close to that marker. Ruster can sustain a little bit of damage here, but now another 5100. I don't think he can take 2 down.
He can.
Can he? Does he? He's still got 3 shots.
No,
near Pizzorni. Too much. That shot was vital, but Spoink will finish it off. But Wusa, I thought that was over and done with. I thought it was too close, too even. But then there was that little bit of a... Now, you mentioned it, actually. Ignore what I was going to say. You mentioned keep your eyes on the 5100s.
Yeah.
I feel that Vetzo's commitment then to try and bail his teammate out almost cost them that extra gun in the game.
Yep.
And it kind of spiraled out of control then.
Yeah, the thing is, Vetzo had to rotate around to help German Brait, who was going 1 versus 1 against Spoink.
Yep.
But the thing is, Spoink managed to take him down by pushing forwards. It wasn't actually Spoink. Who was that? It was Terra Satan. Terra Satan went 1 versus 1 against German Brait. T32 versus 5100. Terra Satan didn't go forwards because he was scared of Vetzo was in the background, which he wasn't.
Yep.
But Spoink came around the corner, took him out. And because Vetzo received a couple of shells early on as well, he got taken out pretty quickly. And then they could push around very well. But, you know, this is the thing. Nia Pizzorni with 3.8k damage. 3.8k damage. He was sitting up in that A line, basically in the K line, I think, actually. Basically just side scraping and hitting the shells. And these are hard shells to hit through the spaces between the buildings. So,
and bearing in mind...
massive damage.
The difference of him being in the game to being out. He got caught out, I think, either second or first after Schnitzel, I think it was. I'm not sure which way it went down, but one of them went down first from the other. So Schnitzel went down first, which was the same as this round. And then already, I think it was Niels Pizzorni took 2 or 3 shells, and he wasn't able to get into that position. This time he saw him a bit more cautious about it, taking a little bit longer. That damage is huge. That's a massive difference then from game A to B. So big scoreline now, though.
Big scoreline. And did predict it, just saying. Wusa 3-1 at the moment against Kasna Crew. 1 big round by 1 big player, and you're over. Moving into the next map, Steps is going to come up. Going to be an interesting one, of course, a lot more dynamic. And Kasna Crew now on the back, on their backs a little bit. And I think this is where they have to step up and have to show their mettle as a team.
Well, if they don't, they're pretty much done for here. Bearing in mind, Wusa could have probably taken maybe 1 loss and worked back in. Wusa are currently on 14 points in 6th position, so if they had another game coming up, they could probably afford to go down and then come back in if they had to. However, Kasna being in 8th, I don't think they really can afford this, because if TCM win their game later today, it's all going to start becoming a little bit further away from them, and that's the big factor here. If you want to check it out yourself, go on to WGLeague.net, which is basically the hub of all the information here. Look at those rankings and look at it yourselves, because that's what it's all about. The top 6, who can reach which spot, who goes to the offline finals. If Kasna don't win this, they're going to start struggling. And Melly, people at home, they're going to have to start questioning their votes here, because I don't know which way they'd vote here, because Kasna has a big following, Wusa's got a big following, and then also there's a logic to it, isn't there?
Well, most of the time there is, right? But this time it seems like the community is a bit on the wrong path. It's 62% for Kasna, which of course can be answered by the fact that they're a huge community favorite and have a huge fan base. And we also got another tweet from Samuel. Thank you very much for tweeting so much. And well, this is obviously the calm before the Kasna Crew storm, and they'll bring it back for a close 5-3 for Kasna. Hashtag hopes and dreams.
Hashtag hopes and dreams.
Absolutely.
I think that's my new hashtag now. Hashtag hopes and dreams.
And another funny one from Daniel. Used the outage, did some course to kill time. Girlfriend is in deep shock. I like it, people. Keep tweeting. You make us happy. Use the hashtag WGLEU to cheer us up in those hard times. And, well, the games do cheer us up as well. So tell us what you think about them, and what do you think about the tweets? Teams. Tweet us about the tweet us about the teams. Words are hard. I can't speak properly. I'm so sorry. And yes, before heading to the next map, we have something else for you. because, you know, the grand finals are ahead of us. The location has been announced. It's Warsaw again from the 25th to the 26th of April. We'll be having one of the greatest esports events ever, because the last one was already awesome. Navi took the crown and got crowned as the world champion in 2014. And yes, as Ollie said earlier, 2 teams from Asia and the Pacific region, 2 teams from Russia, 2 teams from Europe, 2 teams from NA, and 2 teams from China will be there. And of course, 2 wild cards. The teams haven't been chosen yet. They will be chosen by maybe good performance or other criterias, but yes, there will be two wildcard teams as well. And the event location is the Expo 21 in Warsaw. And yes, we have a nice video prepared for you. It's the first day of the Grand Finals 2014 in a short highlight recap.
Armely's on a whisker of health. Anything could take him down. Niespazorny carrying on, 22 seconds left. They need to make these kills and make them fast. There comes the first. Armely now left with nothing as Niespazorny takes him down. Applewell positive. Last 2 alive. 10 seconds left. They've got to get these shots in and make it count. Positive can just hide away. Can he hide long enough though? Applewell has been found. Niespazorny finds it. 1 man now stands. It's just Positive. And surely he's been taken down. Lemming Train.
Тэшку забрать, 13:90, Гусля, времени мало очень, 30 секунд, Гусля есть фокус, еще раз Гусля, сколько раз спасает, ваншотный, выстрел, еще нужен, есть выстрел, Т1 забрать теперь, Т1 был здесь, его забрали, 69-ка, это все. Потамако,
не увидел
его!
Ему маякуют туда, Кус, чекай до конца, 10 секунд.
Он же был здесь!
Вот он сейчас вернется, Потамако. Горка.
6,
есть засвет.
4 секунды.
Работать всем нужно.
Забирает танк, он уходит, он смог.
They go over the top, and can they break this? They are looking the wrong way. Lemming Train are looking the wrong way as Potomoko is receiving the full firepower there of Sip, and he will go down with barely firing a shot. And now they turn their sights to the rears of these Pershings. They are going to try and take them both down. Butcher needs one more shot. He'll go down, but Blue Boy's captain is on reload. He survived. Somehow Blue Boy's Axum is still alive. And this is disastrous from Lemming Train as they go down, and we've only got 2 combat tanks left. What a play there by Sip, but, and this is the big but.
ПТХ прет сюда, но слушай, она доедет, она, по-моему, доедет. Она доедет, как мне кажется, но тут уже вопрос.
10.
Сбили, пока 3 секунды, есть преимущество по захвату, но сводится.
Нужен, 3 секунды, давай.
Мимо!
Да не быть не может, прошел захват!
Does manage to hit the shot eventually on Alien there. We are seeing a man who certainly can. If you're going to be a faith in anyone, you want it to be him. So he's peering up and over. Alien does get punished down to 8, 6, 7 HP, and he does manage to escape the rest of the fire coming through. But finally, Synergy have calmed down, but at the expense of almost... at the expense of Pobble and Armely. And you can see those shells, they're not stopping. Synergy are absolutely hammering these through.
2 сотки с полным барабаном.
5.
Собьют.
4.
Все.
Сбил. Еще сбить. Ой, Apple теперь сбить. Хорошо сбивает захват базы. Выров. Вообще сбили весь захват базы. Смотри по времени. 48 секунд.
Где же Повел? Он тоже
забрали танк. Ой-ой-ой. Еще могут второй забрать. И делают это спокойно. Захват базы идет на другом фланге.
ЛКД. Бучер КД. Сейчас их будут здесь ломать. Вернемся к Т1. Покажите Сталкера в конце концов.
Сталкер должен решать здесь.
Сталкером.
10 секунд. Сталкера по-прежнему видят. Снип прячется. Снип живет 5 секунд.
Сталкер ушел от Элла.
4.
С префайром нужно, с префайром!
Не успел. Сталкер сбил, хорош. Сталкер сбил захват базы.
Все.
Есть.
Это привет и здравствуйте. Повел против Элла.
Захват базы по-прежнему идет. И, кстати, спокойно заберут Снипа. Здесь он в той же позиции, где был до этого.
Ну, в принципе, тут...
Вот здесь, главное,
если ремка у Повела, например. Если будет Гусля...
Я думаю, есть.
В любом случае, потом еще
видят Повела.
Будет беготня. Все, минус Снип.
Забирает Снипа.
Что по 2 снаряда есть. Хватит. Воу. 333. 143.
Ваншот на ваншот. Ну кого? Кто кого? Повел либо Эл. Синерджи не проходят дальше.
Воу, Синерджи вылетают из чемпионата, друзья. Вот это
Это что-то!
Домой, кричит Мeritorious, по-моему, просто жесть!
And I get goosebumps every time when I hear the crowd cheering in the back of this video, and it was just massive and amazing atmosphere. Make sure that you don't miss it in April. If you can, come by. If don't, then watch the streams. Doesn't matter what language, if it's Russian, English, and whatever languages we're going to cover as well. And yes, people, the vote is over. You have decided Kazna crew is... Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. Well, 5 minutes ahead. Guys at home still have 5 minutes to vote. I'm sorry. I will tell you how the vote ended in a bit. But yeah, let's head into steps first, right?
Yeah, I believe it is steps coming up next.
Yep.
So we can turn our attention to that, and it's incredible looking back at what Elian pulled off at that event, and he's certainly looking forward to maybe getting a chance towards doing that at the season finals if he can make it there. An incredible play that most people remember. If you don't remember it, you need to watch it back. Simple as that. It was in the old game mode, and I can only imagine what grand finals would be like in this game mode. That's going to change everything. Just the rule set alone, change in the last grand finals was massive. And then put this game mode there, I think we're going to be in for a treat. So as Melly said, if you have the opportunity, do check out all the information available on the grand finals coming up. Not too far away. And get yourself a ticket towards it, because it's absolutely game-changing. Anyway, back to this game. It is still Kazna up against Wusa. We're going into map number 2, and Kazna need a little bit of that Elian magic to come out again. And scoreline-wise, it's looking pretty dire.
It's looking bad for Kazna crew right now. As we said, this is what will define which team goes to that finals, that Season 5 finals, the first finals in the new format, and some valuable points towards the grand finals if you do go there. So at the moment, 3-1, you can see at the top of your screens there, in towards the mostly German team. Wusa, I'm sure they'll have a go at me later because they got the likes of Nia Pizzoni as, of course, Polish. One of the players who's really stood out this match day. So Sish and Whole of Wusa going towards the left side of the map, and very interesting start from Kazna crew as they also aggressive, try and force Wusa into the left side and keep them there.
Yeah, very, I don't know, controlling beginning from Kazna, looking like they want to define the pace from the start, even on the defending side. Something of a right that's usually gifted over to the attackers, which Wusa currently is sat in. So, Stefan gets a little bit tracked from the side. Elian, the man from that clip, the man who changed everything for Lemming Train. But still, can he do anything here? Comes in, Stefan goes low. He gets picked apart by the hyenas of Kazna, just roaming the plains right now. Steps, and now 5 minutes left. It looks like they're going further into the aggression, and German Break gets a little caught worse than where has shells to make, not had the opportunity, but Elian finds Siege. He's still going into this one, and it looks like we're seeing that all-out brawl, and it's certainly in Kazna's favor.
Yeah, Kazna have better positions. They're not stuck in the middle at the moment. Kazna surrounding and taking down Wusa one by one. Dr. Tur dispatches of the Plunkett. Surprised it's not actually playing artillery in this one, and Wusa's not getting any better for them as they are being worn down by Kazna crew. Look how much HP they have, and look how many tanks they have alive to play around with.
Yeah, Dr. Tur does get called out there. Elian received a little, so they're trying to even this one up as best they can, but it's not without an answer. Elian splitting off towards that left-hand flank with LD, Nexus, Hyber, and Rusta surrounding and swarming Schnitzel. He will fall to Hyber's hand as now the rest of Wusa looking, well, out of place, out of position, and out of sorts. Rufy gonna be put to bed, and now Vitilian and Nia Pizzoni, the last two standing, and I can imagine they'll be broken down for scrap very soon. Kazna clearly wanting to start this one off well.
Great little side there from Vitilian, but side shot there from Vitilian, but not enough to save his team, as it looks like Kazna with a nice 3,000 HP advantage and 4 tanks alive will be walking away with this one, but still Nia Pizzoni survives. He did 3.7k damage in the last round, not quite as much this round, only 637, but what can he achieve with the 6 shells he now has as Hyber comes around and is off reload.
A great initial shell there coming out from Hyber, so taking the Pizzoni even lower, and of course LD Nexus appears and will do the job. 3-2 is going to be the scoreline. Kazna getting themselves back in this one now with a little more room to breathe, as well Wusa were going to get very close to getting on match point with a long road back for Kazna, but that's a perfect start into a new map.
Very interesting as well, because they're actually on the defending side and they went aggressive, but I think you could see what happened there. It came down to a brawl in that middle road, as it would do if you kind of ingress from both sides like that. And there's obviously that middle road you can jump down into. And I think the execution was just better from Kazna crew. Clearly, Kazna went in, took down Stefan in that T32. It's not a great idea having a T32 there. And then they sent a Doctor 2 around, and it was that surround they did which really gave them advantage. Also, they thought about the positions, they had the rocks there either side, and it was just great for them. And well, Wusa responded with a push-in on their own, but they just put themselves in an awkward situation in many ways. So great play there, great coordination, and great counter tactic by Kazna.
I liked it from start to finish. I think Kazna looked very competent. Looked like they had a plan and looked like they wanted to win, which is the Kazna that we know and love, the Kazna that can be a top 6 team. And bear in mind, they are fighting for a place in the offline finals here. This is no easy, random, mid-game, mid-season game, should I say. And this is when all those small losses, those small mistakes certainly come back to haunt a team when they think, God, if only we won that one game sooner, we wouldn't be in this position. However, it's how it's gone. They're currently stuck in 8th position, dying for this win. Do you think they can actually come back to this?
I think they can. I think Kazna crew look like they're on point, and Himmelsdorf and the steps are like chalk and cheese. They're completely different, and what works on one map doesn't work on the other one, and it looks like Kazna are on point here. So I think it's going to be even up. I wouldn't even be surprised if it goes 4-4 and we go onto that tiebreaker map. So let's have a look out. I mean, of course, Kaza's got a long road to do that. They need to be picking up an attacking round. It's not even a defending round that they need to be looking at right now. They just need to get the defending round over, get the score on the board, get the point on the scoreboard, and then moving on to the attacking round and actually picking one of those up. So that's what Kazakh needs to be focusing on right now. And Wusa, if they pick up one here, it will be absolutely fantastic, and they will be right on match point. So big plays from both teams. Looking at Kazna's lineup, they are going aggressive again. No T32. On the defending side, as I said before, 3 251s, 2 MX-3090s, a T54 and a T37. So no T32 says to me straight away that they're not going to be static. They're not going to be in the kind of A1 area, A2 area, B2 area, where you see a lot of teams put the T32 to get the TCAP. Kazna wants to be aggressive. Kazna wants to dictate the style of the game, and I think that's a good way of looking at the defensive side, because we see often on these kind of overmaps, Murovanka, Prokhorovka, and Steps, the team that dictates the style of the game and the pace of the game, aka most of the time the attackers, wins it. And if the defender does that, they might be able to get that advantage back to them.
Yeah, a lot of factors coming into this one, and bearing in mind, right, Kazna have 2 more games to play after this as well. Let's remember that. So they will be following this one up with DRL this week, and have to play against Momentum. So Momentum will be one of the ones that was rescheduled from far earlier in the season.
That'll be next Monday. Kazna versus Kazna versus Momentum because of the reschedule they had to do. So we won't be broadcasting that one, of course, but that could potentially as well give us an idea if Kazna go to the final. So it could be that game as well.
So they do have some points to play with, but I still don't think if they walk away with anything other than a win here, they'll be happy with it. That's the big factor that I want to point out, that personally you want to have as much of a chance going forward, because otherwise, these other teams will just start to excel. To be fair to TCM, though, they have some extraordinary hard games. They're one of the teams that are currently in the way of the route through for Kazna, which is today, obviously, Schoolbus, the game we're going to finish on, and then WSD Gaming. So TCM are going to be in a real awkward position. However, everything can change. That's what you want to keep your eyes on. And we are seemingly close to being ready for this one now to start up. Predictions coming into this map now.
I think Kazna will pick it up because they have no option. They need to win it. And I think it's going to be 3-3 at the end of this. So, I don't know. I think that's what's going to happen. Kazna need to be playing out their skins. They need to be on another level. They need to be dynamic. They need to be quick. That T32 not being in the game, it makes it a little bit harder for them in a lot of respects, because they won't have that turret, they won't have that hold down tank. So a lot of factors they need to think about. Actually, we'll be restarting this one, as clearly one of the 2 teams' players hasn't managed to get in. So it's going to restart this one quickly and hopefully be underway very, very shortly. So at the moment, you've just joined us, it's at the moment 3-2 scoreline to Wusa. They managed to pick up the Himmelsdorf rounds 3-1. So moving on to Steps with a little bit of an advantage, and they seem to be doing pretty well. We haven't had really much of a chance to see them on Steps yet because of that quick move in the middle. It's more of a brawl than any kind of tactic, so we've still got a while to wait.
Yeah, we'll have to see. The team's obviously just adjusting now as we do wait for them to come back. Hopefully the player, whoever it was, can resolve those problems. As you know, I've already had enough internet issues today. I don't need any more. I think we've hit our limit of what we can deal with. But you guys at home, I don't see enough people on Twitter using that hashtag WGLEU. So I'm going to tell you once again while we wait. Do it right now. Go on Twitter, twitter.com. You know how it works. And you're in that little tweety box, the little box right there, hashtag WGLEU, and tell me your thoughts on this matchup currently. Do you think Kazna can come back in this, or has Wusa already got enough of an advantage you think they can walk away with it? That's what I want you to get involved with. Get answering it right now. There's nothing else going on, you know? We're waiting on the teams. You go and do it right now. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, we're just waiting on the... The thing is, one of the teams didn't say they were ready, and the match started anyway, so they went back to garage, so... You know, you have to wait. It's still, one of the guys is on the toilet. So it's basically a bio break. So we're just waiting for that one guy. All you guys at home are just waiting for one guy who's on the toilet. So, yeah, it's going to take a while.
Fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Thanks, Ollie.
No problem. Just wanted to make your day. Cheer it up a little bit. I know you need cheering up sometimes, Lauren. You get down, you get in the dumps. And you just need to be brought up a little bit with it.
I'm ill.
Need a little bit happier.
I'm not very well at the moment, guys, and he's been mean to me.
You're never well. It's unbelievable.
What?
No one's...
I'm never well.
This is like the most sickly office ever.
I haven't been ill in ages.
It's the most sickly office ever.
Says you who turns up sniffling every morning, looking like he's been dragged to work on the back of a bus.
I'm not sniffling. I'm constantly well. I've only been ill once this year. Which is only in January, but just the end of January. It's not a good point.
I've been ill once this year. Now...
In the last 365 days, though.
That's not in the year, though, is it?
Yeah, but just in the context of a year. Whatever.
Ollie is just as ill as everyone else. However, he likes to lord it above others.
I'm not that bad.
Being a manly man who only ever gets man flu and then denies it completely outside.
I just sleep in bed. That's the thing. Everyone annoys me when people are ill. They go to the office and make everyone else ill.
It's because we've got work to do, Ollie.
Stay at home.
We got work to do.
Like it's someone.
All right, I'm off, guys. I'll see you later.
If you're a caster,
Melly,
you've got an excuse because you're a caster. It's fair enough. It's fair enough. I understand. It's fair enough. What annoys me is like the guys in like suits and stuff. No one wears white collar, in this office. white collar to work, but absolutely ill and just taking public transport. I'm like, dude, just stay at home.
It's not cool.
Put yourself in a little like
bubble
containment, and just stay out of civilization's way because we don't want you.
On the way into. That's a little harsh. On the way into work, I was sitting in the car. I was like, I really do not need this right now. You get the hot flushes. You're like, oh no, oh no. It's one of those days. We are still waiting for the player, whoever was deciding to take some. How long does it take to go to the bathroom? Seriously, the player, whoever you are. Seriously.
Yeah, we are waiting for players. So
players, please hurry up. I'm tired. I'm ill. I can't handle this right now. And you guys want to watch?
I mean, the thing is, one of the things we want to do is just have always spend as little time showing our faces.
People think we enjoy this.
Much time watching the game as possible.
People think we actually want the camera on us.
The camera is not a pleasant thing. Let me tell you that.
We don't want
camera and lights are not pleasant.
We don't want this.
No.
Blame the players. And everyone's like, why is it taking so long?
You guys get to watch ugly faces all the time.
Exactly.
It just doesn't work out.
I like the way people just like, God, why don't they start the game? It's like. Don't ask us.
Don't look at us.
It's not us. It's the players. You tell the players.
The players, yeah.
Don't be mean to the admins. Blame the players. So next time you see a player in chat giving grief, I don't know, Purple Shift turns up, tell him off. Anyone, doesn't matter what team they're from.
Hey, Purple Shift's British. He's always on time.
That's a lie. That's a massive lie. Anyway, I think the teams have decided that they want to be ready for us, which is very kind. So we can start this one up now. Once again, apologies for the slightly longer wait. But yes. Apparently the toilet was vital at this time. Anyway, in the south in red it's Wusa, in the north in blue it's Kazna, and we are underway.
Yeah, finally underway. Sorry for the delay, but we should be able to play this one out now. At the moment, Wusa going towards the left side, and Kazna crew being dynamic, being quick like they were before. Predicting that the 59-16 won't be in towards the right side, not spotting. I'm not sure exactly how far Kazna are going to ingress across this map. If they're going to go up in towards the southern spawn point of Wusa, or if they're going to stop once they do reach the edge of that trench. So they got a couple of options now. Ooh, that was close. Nexus, brilliant little blind shot there towards Siege. Didn't connect it, but he definitely made Siege a little bit nervous as Dr. Tour and that M44, not the most quick tank in the world, does slowly get himself into a good position. And despite the fact that they don't have a T32, the fact that they have an M44 does suggest Kazna wants to slow this game down a little.
Yeah, in comparison to that first round, it's day and night. So, at the moment, we're just starting to build up towards the north. Nothing too surprising, but take me through the choices of the IS-3s on this map, because that's something we don't often see, on the attacking side especially.
No, we don't see it ever, really. We saw in 742 a little bit. You know, IS-3 just a good all-round tank in terms of, I mean, it does great damage. It can take a lot of damage. It's just a nice tank to play with. The problem is it's slow, and that's the thing you have to overcome as a team. How do we get it from A to B without A, it being damaged, and B, being put into a bad situations? But once we do get it at B, it's going to be very effective. You can see the plan is to send Roofy and the other IS-3 and with the 251 forwards and over. I'm actually only sending one IS-3 forwards, it's Roofy. So forwards and over towards the trench side. If they can get into the trench, it's going to be an absolute beast. 59-16 does start the cap there. That's Siege playing it. So underway is Wusa with their tactic, and so far it's going well. They haven't received any damage. They got into the positions they want, and Kazakru now has to go forwards and make their own move.
They do. And we saw what happened when Kazna went aggressive before. They certainly can pull it off, but I can kind of see maybe where this is going to go. Stefan's going to be the player holding back whoever they push forward across towards that kind of B5 area, if maybe Kazna wanted to go for the direct route of stopping that cap. However, it doesn't seem as though they do. They're working down towards the south, maybe looking for that south to north play.
Yeah, exactly. Rotating around very quickly. That's what Kazna crew needs to be doing. Being quick, being snappy, being sharp. Getting those 251s behind. Finding any weakness, which is at the moment FKK, Schnitzel, Hyber, and Elian have done a great job of getting there without being spotted. And FKK does have to run out of there as quickly as possible. As he does get spotted, does as Hyber. He doesn't realize that Elian's in support. So FKK does scamper away, and well, Kazna crew only get one shot onto him, but tracks him. Elian Hyber hitting that one, but FKK been very quick on that repair.
Yeah, certainly quick on that little trigger finger almost, but 38 seconds until the storm hits, and it looks like Kazna are ready for this one, but look at the HP, already down to 4.7 in comparison to Wusa's 6.7, so a big deficit there, and you can see the push beginning. Near Pizzoni and LD Nexus clashing horns as Pluckett tries to help him out a little bit and actually catches him pretty severely, but Ruster has found Schnitzel, so Superstar v Superstar. Looks like Ruster will come out on top, and even that HP deficit going to come into effect surely soon, as Elian going to be bullied by Vertilion, who's going to have the shell available now, gets it, and Elian does go down, but Vertilion probably sacrificing himself for that pickup, but at the moment it looks like Wusa is still in control. Wusa
has so much more HP with those IS-3s just from the get-go that it's making it very hard for Kazakru to get any kind of advantage. They kill a tank, they do some damage, but they still have to deal with those two full HP IS-3s pretty much, so it's very, very hard days for Kazna and the M44, even if it does hit the shells, which is not the most likely thing in the world because of how inaccurate it is. It still has to do a lot. Nia Pizzoni does make up for it though, takes down LD Nexus. It is a 4 versus 4, but Dr. Tour is playing that M44, the artillery, and those two IS-3s in there, so I'd say at the moment Wusa do look like they have this game firmly in their hands, but they are attacking, so they do have to make the move, and the speed of Kazakru does allow them to get in, get out of situations very quickly and decap, but the damage they've received on those light tanks is pretty extraordinary, so they would risk everything if they go for it.
This is going to be a tough one here. The M44 will at least be able to try and get some resets in, but I don't know, this could be tricky predicament. 150 left. He's going to have to hit some absolutely stellar shots, and don't see it happening. Nia Pizzoni finds Vetso. Hyber moving in. 1390 as well. I don't think they've got time here, Kazna. They're pretty much out of position, and I think they know it. Dr. Tour will not have a shell available, and the time has run too low. I don't think Joe and Break can even afford to expend a shell here. I think there was too little, too late here.
Yeah, it's game over. It's game over. Worcester take it, and Kazakru, well, 4-2 down now at the moment. Did a fantastic job in that first defending round, but a great pickup with the two IS-3s from Musa, basically make it impossible for Kazakru to win. by pushing forwards. It was a great counter comp from them, so great stuff from Wusa there. Good thinking. Even though the two IS3s didn't do very much, I mean, 521 damage, 347, it gave them that presence, which Kazna crew couldn't break down. Second thing, when Kazna pushed in, because of the kind of presence they had towards that side of the map, they just couldn't find a way onto it. And despite the fact that FKK fell first, like he seems to be doing a lot at the moment, I have to say it simply wasn't enough to mitigate any kind of damage Wusa was doing.
Yeah, so as you can see here, Schnitzel caught out quite badly. Spots out Elian there, so a little bit of information gathered, but the sort of push, dangerous position to be in, catching a glimpse of Elian. Actually played to this point, but even then it just seemed to be in Wusa's hands. Look at the HP difference so early on in the initial play. Huge. Pretty good, right, Ollie?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what kind of tanks these guys are picking up, because they're going in and out of the garage very quickly. I'm just quite curious. They're playing some tricks on us right now.
They're just messing with us.
Yeah, have to see. I mean, yeah, I just think the firefighting ability then from Kazna was good.
Mm-hmm.
Was a lot better in the first round, but as I said before, it's just an awkward situation to be in. And we've seen it before, that fight over towards the left side, if you're there, you have a good advantage. If you're pushing onto there, you have a massive disadvantage because the kind of positions you have, the rocks, and the way you can play it around. So that's why Wusa picked up that one and brought a maximum of 2 points for Kazna crew. So it makes it a little bit interesting. Can they actually get into that top 6 now? And that's only if Kazna wins the next 2 rounds, which they shouldn't, to be honest, because they're on the attacking side, which not the hardest thing to do in the world on steps, but it's slightly easier to defend pretty much on every map, apart from maybe Cliff. So it shouldn't be too hard for Wusa to at least pick up 1 round here and, you know, secure those 3 points.
It's a shame that Kazna have already kind of let it slip at this point.
It's a big shame.
Okay, yeah, they've got 2 more games, but a clean loss here is actually quite a massive deficit to go forward with. So I don't know what they can really achieve at this point. I think they need to be kind of careful going forward. I think that if they do get at least a minimum 2 points, which is the maximum they can now achieve, they'll be okay. But still, I expect a little bit more from Kazna, knowing this is one of the...
a lot more from Kazna.
Yeah, it's like considering the gravity of this situation, that the final official day of this season is the 5th, which is this week. Yeah, they play one afterwards because it got rescheduled, but
yeah,
it should be now that they start actually playing well. And I've been kind of, I don't know, I keep expecting them to suddenly appear. Suddenly Kazna turns up again. It's like, okay, they're back. They're just, you know, having a mid-season slump, and they just haven't really done it. It's kind of weird.
Agree. 100% behind you on that one. Yeah, I mean, they have the potential now to win the next 2 rounds, and I really hope they do to make this possible for them to qualify, but I also want Wusa to qualify a lot. I mean, these 2 teams are some of my favorite teams, some of my favorite players, so it's going to be interesting. Lineups are locked in, players are ready. Kazna crew, as I said, are going to be attacking, and Wusa will now on the defense. Now, lineups 2251s, 3 MX-3090s of Pershing, and a 5916 from Kazna crew, and from Wusa, the M44, the double MX-3090, T32, double 251, and the IS3. So again, Kazna going for these heavy tank lineups. Wusa going for these heavy tank lineups.
But it worked out well before. That HP advantage was so irrevocable about, you know, when it got down to about the 3-minute and 30-second marker, that Kazna looked so out of it. But we'll see if it works again. I'm not sure about the IS3. The last time I really saw it on this map was Still Mojo at the very start of the season, and it just didn't work out at all. Still Mojo, I think, was given that tank because he just, I don't know, he plays better in heavier tanks rather than it being a tactic. I don't know. He's changed it since then. He's no longer doing that. So maybe there's something that's been found a little by, you know, Wusa here that they like within those IS3s. I don't know, let's see if it actually plays off again, because right now they are on to match point, so they are now pretty much on the verge of walking away with a really solid lead in those points, which is exactly what they need. So I do believe the teams are underway. So let's get this one started, ladies and gents. We are into battle number 7. 4-2 is your scoreline, and Wusa leading that marker in the north now on the defense, and Kazna in the south on the attack.
So this is the gravity of this situation. If Wusa pick up this round, if they pick one defensive round up here against Kazna crew, they will be going to the Season 5 finals to play for a lot of money and, more importantly, a lot of internet points. So let's see if they can do that. Have a hard job though. Kazna crew seem to be on form at the moment, seem to be a better Kazna crew than we've seen for a lot of this season, but clearly Wusa have just been that little bit better in a couple of rounds to pick up those rounds and give them advantage. Nierpazorny receives the first shell of the game, and well, he's going to try and get out of that situation very quickly, as Kazna crew do assert their dominance over towards the right side, but Dr. Tour gets one of his own as well.
He does indeed, and I love the speed of that 5916. Can just kind of fly around as it pleases. And the HP a lot more even this time.
Yeah, well, capture started. Vetso's in there, Hyber as well. It's going pretty well for Kazna crew right now. They've got that side because Wusa went all towards the north, and that's the thing. In 754, you gamble. Do you go left, you go right? Where do you go? And sometimes you get it right, and sometimes you get it wrong. And so far, it looks like Wusa have got it wrong. They also haven't got a tank in towards C0, which that's taken by German Brait. So as long as German Brait doesn't peak too early, doesn't get spotted, he might be able to do some serious damage to FKK Schnitzel, but he fluffs that first shot.
He does indeed, but German Brait landing that one onto Schnitzel there on the kind of push across. And Hyber peers up. Schnitzel could be caught down in a dangerous place now. He looks like it could be a free kill coming in. And one more shell will do it. Hyber looking for it. Gonna get it as well. Hyber picks it up, and that's a perfect beginning here for Kazna. Maybe switching things up, looking for other options. Stefan now going to traverse the same ground, however, having substantially better luck than Schnitzel, who was the first down again.
Yeah, but German Brait's now going to be reloading for about another 20 seconds, so it will be until then for Kazna crew to push forwards, for Wusa to push forwards even, to make some plays here. They are going to be pushing around onto Vetso. Stefan doing a fantastic amount of damage, but still, Wusa's in a dire situation. They got German Brait towards their right, and they got the rest of Kazna on their left.
Yeah, here we go. This could be the defining moment. Wusa down in numbers, down in HP, but Stefan still holds on, trying to fire this one through. Dr. Tour goes down. Hyber gets his second of the game, looking further. Plucky is so low. Oh, not what you wanted. Team damage coming through. Spoink going down. And this looks like a clean game for Kazna, only losing a 1 in this game. And bear in mind, that one only had 580 HP, so not the biggest loss in the world either. Cap has started. 2 left. I think Kazna's back in this.
This is back. This is good old Kazna back. This is awesome stuff from them. Perfect prediction play, good all-round play, and good positioning. That's the 3 cornerstones of World of Tanks competitive play and World of Tanks in general. So let's see if they can finish this one off in timely fashion. Nierpazorny is going to be running away as fast as he can. You know, it's a big deal, because if he does go down to the tiebreaker, the fastest attacking round gets to decide which side they get to play on, the attacking side or the defending side on the tiebreaker map. So that's why you see the teams running away at the end when they're defending, even though they know they've lost the game. And 4-3, Kazna crew did pick up a round.
Kaz needed it as well, so they're bringing this closer. Bear in mind they have to win another one back-to-back now to get it even closer. That's the big thing here that's going to make it very, very difficult, is winning one back-to-back. Wusa now kind of know what's up. They kind of maybe understand the variations that Kazna has to a degree, and they should be able to kind of account for that. However, what actually happened then? Because it seemed to kind of go really wrong really quickly.
I think Wusa expected, with the fast lineup Kazna had, for them just to push straight away over towards the left side, but they predicted wrong. Kazna gambled, went all towards the right side, went into the trench, and they basically got the trench. And then from there on out, the T-32 and the IS-3 became redundant from Wusa. You could see the problems with those tanks, even though they had a lot of HP and a lot of armor. They had to, if they have to try and traverse through the middle of an open field, German Brait being in that position was great. He only did 1,000 damage, but it was 1,000 useful damage, and it fell down very quickly. And then in that close firefights, the IS-3 struggles a lot. It's got a slow turret traverse. It's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit big. It's a little bit chunky. And those light tanks do pick them apart. Do pick it apart. It's like, you know, a pack of vultures. against some sort of buffalo. So great play there from Kazna. Still down at the moment, 4-3. They need to pick up the next round if they even want a chance in this match to pick up even a point. So still got a lot of work ahead of them.
Yeah, it's a long road. Let's see if they can do it again. Kazna, can you pull it off? Can you take it all the way to that decider map? They need this round to do it. You guys at home seemingly still cheering for Kazna. I can see it on Twitter. I can see it in chat. You guys still supporting these boys. And, well, I can kind of see why. Let's see if they can keep true to trend and not let you guys down. So, hopefully the teams are now ready. Are you looking at the lineups? Are we seeing the similar stuff?
Yeah, we're seeing the same lineup from both teams. With minus the IS3, the teams can switch their lineups after every round. They have to send our lineups in via email to us, but every round they can switch it up so they can adapt and change and be versatile. So they've lost the IS3, which I think is a good idea. I mean, most teams have only pick up a T32 on the defending side on steps. And the IS3 just seemed to be a bit out of place there. Good on the attack, not so good on the defense. And Kazna sticking to what they know. They got a Pershing there. They got a 3 MX-39s, 2251s, and a 5916. But here's the question: do Kazna do the same? Do they stick to their guns by going to the right side, or do they switch things up and try towards the left side? That's what it's going to come down to. Who gambles correctly here?
A game of chance in a way almost, and how well do they then deal with it going forward? If they make the wrong choice, can they recover, can they not? 8 seconds until we find out. The game's almost ready to go live. Once again, guys, get ready for what could be either a win for Wusa or overtime going into that deciding map between these two. Simple as that. And, well, I don't know what to make of it. I'm not sure of my predictions. Yours?
So tricky. I mean, this game mode is so unpredictable. We're 742. I mean, we could predict it down to a T. We could say X, Y, and Z team's going to win on X, Y, and Z map. But now it's just so hard. You see LD Nexus and Dr. Tour heading across the middle with the 251 and the 5916. And the rest of Kazna sticking to their guns. And again, gambling correctly. If Kazna get in towards the trench, they'll be able to catch Nia Bolzoni out early. And Nia Bolzoni will be in trouble again. But 5916 gets spotted. It's going to be interesting. Dr. Tour might fall, actually. Just dodging that with the kills on move right now, and he's got to be careful he doesn't hit any of those rocks on the way. But yeah, it's going pretty slowly at the moment, but Kazna do ingress in towards the right side, the trench side.
And you said, I wonder if they're going to go over there again, and it looks like they are. Maybe sticking to their guns then, thinking it was the correct option. Liking this strategy, but how has Wusa now considered this? Have they kept it in mind? Have they got enough information? It looks like Nia Bolzoni has spread out a lot. He stays alive. It's not the complete suicide that we saw in the previous playday just yesterday. So, Cap, beginning, how do you think Wusa's going to deal with this differently now?
Ooh, this is really, really good for Kazna crew. Really good. I mean, Wusa are in slightly better positions. They have faster tanks. I think this is what it's going to come down to. Rusted and Ilian behind these rocks. What does Kazna do to get them out of here? Because if they don't, these two are going to be dead very quickly. I'm not even sure why they're there. Probably there to find the cross, but Wusa had the tanks for Thailand and Spoink basically there ready and waiting to take them down. So it's not going too well. Nice little hit fire there from Ilian finding its way onto the Thailand.
Yeah, Ilian though has been taken quite low very early on, so already down to 287 HP. And we have to see if that really affects you later into the game. Going down so early, another shell did come in. He's down to 33 HP here. Anything will take him out. He's going to have to sit back, find another way to play this, because maybe Kazna's beginning was good, but the follow-up hasn't seemed perfect just yet. Then again, we haven't seen the real commitment from Wusa.
What can Dr. Tour do here? Yeah, you're 100% correct, though. Because of the positional play Wusa had, and not basically being stupid and not taking the middle area, it's definitely put Kazna crew at a bit of a disadvantage here. Kappa's also being stopped. They're a bit worried about what the T32 can do. I mean, the Pershing is like the counter to the T32 in many respects, but it still will struggle against it. With an artillery shot there, trying to connect his way onto high, but doesn't find it. As Rusta is trying to do a bit of a one-man army at this point, gets spotted by the Thailand, and you'll probably see the rotate from Wusa just to take down Rusta and will make this game very hard for them to come back with.
Will do indeed, but Rusta quite far ahead of the pack. If he can get singled out here, that could really hurt, and Stefan might have a view of this. He might have an angle to be hitting shots. You can see the damage coming in, but nothing really connecting as Vertilion takes the shell.
That was actually good supporting play by Kazna crew. I thought Ruster would be dead meat there, but you got LD Nex and Germ, Bright, Hyber, Vetso, and Elin all in the background. Elin on reload though in the MX-1390, so I don't expect Kazna crew to make the next move for another 10 to 15 seconds until their star player has come off that reload. Now, Kazna are abandoning the right side completely, heading towards the middle, and you'll probably see Wusa now taking that trench a little bit more and trying to get them safe, trying to reset the fight, kite Kazna around the map. But at the same time, they give away that northern cap, and Dr. Tor is still alive in the 59-16. But again, they counter that with the artillery, and the reset could come in from that. So I'd say it's Wusa's game right now.
For now, I still wait and see what Kazna brings, but every single attempt they make, they receive a little bit of damage extra, that little bit more, that little bit of health they had to play around with slowly gets worked away, and they are returning to the original strategy. However, Wusa are a little bit closer this time. Nipazoni does get spotted, but that's about it. I don't know if they spread out Stefan. They will do shortly, and it looks like they may actually continue pushing. LD Nexus and Vetso looking aggressive, but I don't know why they peeked over that ridge. They're both taking massive amounts of damage, maybe feeling that Nipazoni was out on his own, but there was indeed backup. Yeah,
it was massive backup. Good play there by Wusa, just keeping the tanks in a good position, ready and waiting. But Kazna do take the right side. They've left the middle, and it's a game of cat and mouse. This is classic steps as we know it. Running around the map, trying to get an advantage here, trying to get an advantage there. But that's the thing. It's those little advantages which Wusa seem to be getting. You know, getting that damage against Vetso and LD Nexus, getting the positional play, which seems to be winning them around. But still, this cap is going to define who wins and loses, as they got 3 tanks in there.
Yeah, and it's going to force Wusa to actually make a committed play. Schnitzel's trying to find a way in, but finally Ruster's position comes out. LD Nexus actually pushes out a little bit. Maybe wanted to catch them in this deflate again, utilize the slightly higher ground, and, well, the damage certainly coming in. A shell each shared between Wusa and the HP pool. Very evenly kind of taken back, but LD Nexus did find Vertilion, so taking away guns out of the game, but Ruster comes in for the cleanup, goes in, gets the shell connected. Can he find the Nipazoni, though? He does take him down. It looks like Kazna turning it on a dime, and they are not done in this game, and Wusa may have just thrown this one away.
Unbelievable how Kaza's done this. This is just beautiful, perfect World of Tanks play from them. Truly fantastic. It's a spectacle to behold. LD Nexus takes care of Spoink. The only one remaining now. German Bray, unluckily, is going on reload that AMX-1390, but it's 6 versus 1. And Kazna crew unbelievably doing the impossible. Come back with a 4-4.
Well, Kazna, can you believe it? 4-4, as you said, finally deciding to actually play the game today, but only when it really, pressure was against them. They let it go that far.
Unbelievable. 2 attacking rounds they just won. 2 attacking rounds, fantastic work from them. I thought, honestly, they had like a 1.4k HP deficit, which is tier 8 tank. I thought they would lose that game, but they didn't. They came back and they did fantastic work at the end. And they basically baited Wusa into the same positions which they lost in the previous round, with German Bray up onto the right side, Hyber and the 251s in the middle, and then it came the crux when FKK Schnitzel got caught in between the rotates and got taken down.
See, I don't know if that's Kazna being smart or Wusa being really stupid. I guess it's Kazna being smart, but Wusa literally just did like a goldfish and just swam around and smacked their head into the same wall they just kind of did it to literally 4 minutes ago. It was like... I'm sorry, but, to lose the same way twice and literally in the same place, it's like, guys, come on, you're meant to be top 6. Don't do this. Anyway, deciding map.
Yeah, Prokhorovka. Match day 10, Prokhorovka. So it's going to be interesting. A different map entirely. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Do they go towards the EPS style? Do they go towards the DRL style? Do they go to the DTQ style? What happens here? That's the question. And it is that map where if you're the defender, you have a pretty decent advantage, I think. Not a massive one, but I think you do. And I don't know. I'm not sure exactly who's won the fastest round. The tiebreaker is decided which team goes on which side by the fastest attacking round. So that team gets to pick which side. And, of course, they're most likely to go to the defenders. So let's have a look through and see who's done what.
Well, we can give them a sec and actually catch up with you guys at home and how you've been voting. Melly, the people out there, how the vote's been going?
Well, the vote stopped at 61% for Kazna crew, so people had faith in them until the very last minute, and it seems to pay off.
It does.
We still have to decide ahead of us, but I don't think that a team made it after such a deficit so far will give it away easily. That's my personal opinion. If you think different, just head over to Twitter and tweet us using the hashtag WGLEU. And I mean, guys and girls at home are still stuck in the last map, and I guess we still have to wait.
So I think there's a lot up in the air at the moment between these two teams. Not too sure really how they're going to come into this. I think they need some time to discuss a little. So we're going to give the teams a couple of minutes. So once they can kind of mull things over, get themselves prepared. This will give you time to get on Twitter and tell us your thoughts about the deciding map as well. Hashtag WGLEU. We'll be back after a very short 3-minute break. Welcome back to the WGLU. Hopefully you guys are now ready for that deciding map, and hopefully the teams are as well. They've had their time to now discuss and think things over, decide what they want to pick, how they want to play this, and which side they're on. And I believe that has been sorted.
Yeah, we're going to be on Prokhorovka. That's the most important thing. But Kazna had the fastest attacking round, so they will be able to decide which side they go on, which is, of course, going to be the defensive side. And Wusod, of course, will be on the attack side. Now, this map might be giving Kazna a little bit of nightmares, because last time they played it was up against EPS, where they lost to 4-0 into the 2-5-1 Zerg. So, you know, it would be kind of ironic, the fact that they lost against EPS after being 3-1 up.
And now having to turn around a 3-1.
Exactly, now having to turn around a 3-1 and potentially losing a spot in the Season 5 finals on this map. But I hope that they've learned from previous mistakes and they do well here.
We'll see. I think that's the main thing. Tank lineup wise, please tell me that their opposition is not just picking 2-5-1s against
They
them.
are picking 2-5-1s, yes. We got
How many?
We got 5 2-5-1s, 2 Bulldogs from Kazna Crew. So
okay, so Kazna's kind of doing the 2-5-1.
Pretty similar to what we've seen from Evil Panda Squad. Evil Panda Squad sometimes go for that T-37 and then the MX-3090 for a little bit of burst. But Wusa's gone for very much the same. They've gone for 3 2-5-1s, 2 Pershings, a 5960 and an MX-3090, so a little bit more diversity, which could give them an advantage, but Kazna just will be able to take that experience against the EPS and assert it onto Wusa, and despite the fact that they're defending, with that lineup, they have to attack.
Well, it's do or die time. The teams are nearly ready. Guys, get your predictions in. Get those final thoughts to us on Twitter. Hashtag WGLEU. Get involved, guys. We want to hear from you, especially when it comes down to this game. We knew it was going to be a highlight of the season. I didn't think it'd go all the way to decider, but you guys did at home. You predicted a close game around the 56%, 60% marker in favour to Kazna. But that's not massive compared to some of the votes we've seen before. So maybe Wusa can hold on. Maybe Kazna have done just enough. But maybe Prokhorovka may be the end of them. We'll have to wait and see. It certainly was a deciding factor for them against EPS. Let's see if they've broken that trend and maybe learned a thing or two, because we are into game and Kazna seemingly learning how it's done. But then again, there's a lot of 2-5-1s on the side for Wusa as well. So up in the north, it's Kazna on defense. In the south, it's Wusa on the attack.
So do or die time for both teams. The fact that they brought it 4-4 does give both a little bit of breathing room. I mean, doesn't put everything onto them now, with the point at least in the bag for both of them. But 2 goes to the winner, 1 goes to the loser. That's what it comes down to. Which one has it in them to take the points home today? Now, Wusa going to the right side, and Kazna at the moment in the middle. I much prefer Kazna's positioning. Wusa's kind of put themselves into an awkward place, and despite the fact that they've got the hill, they have to play very carefully. They have to make sure that Kazna doesn't surround them.
It's a big point here. And we often say that sometimes, you know, a strategy in theory is fantastic. However, you can't always mimic that style. But Siege takes a lot of damage very early on, that 59-16. Not exactly as capable as maybe a couple of the other tanks for taking those sort of shells. However, Rasta does find Siege first, so it gives Kazna the early advantage. And as I was saying, I think that maybe they've seen a lot of how EPS do this, but do you think they can really replicate it? They're
not replicating at all. The fact that Wusa's gone to the right side basically has stopped Kazna Crew from going for that middle brawl. And what Wusa's basically saying is, okay, so we can't brawl with Kazna in the middle, we can't brawl at all. So what we have to do is we have to disrupt their gameplay, we have to try something new. But by doing that, they've also put themselves at a bit of a disadvantage. You can see the HP starting to creep Kazna's way near Pizzoni's a one-shot. And, well, that shot does come in from Rasta, finds near Pizzoni.
Yeah, Kazna starting off really well here, taking the HP advantage away from Wusa, who actually began with one, considering they picked a slightly heavier lineup. Stefan, a man who would certainly be a part of that, being taken so low, starting out on 1.4k HP, now down to a mere 282. 1 or 2 more shells will certainly do the damage, and Stefan, I think, knows this, having to try and play around it, do what he can while he's alive, gets a little towards Vetso, but Kazna seemingly playing this very well.
Up north, you got the 2-5-1 duel as well, between FKK Schnitzel and German Brait. FKK's come out on top. To be honest, he's the only one really in the team, but Spoink, FKK do push across.
Looking for the commitment here. German Brait gonna go down. Is it gonna be Schnitzel to land it? Yes, it will be. Schnitzel, though, putting himself across that ridge also opens him up to so much fire. He does go down. It looks like Worcester maybe pushing a little too far, a little too early on, and they've been punished for it. Kazna coming out like they mean business, learning a little and taking a lot from Worcester. Now 3 left alive for the Worcester boys. I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Pluckett, Vertillion and Stefan still in this. This could mean that Worcester could drop out of that top 6. We might see Kazna slip up into their place, but still 2 now remain for Wusa. Kazna holding on here, looking for more. We said that they needed this, and my God, did they come out swinging. Kazna gonna find Plunkett first. He is gonna fall, and now just one man alive. Attilian has the entirety of the team rolling towards him. Hyber looking like he wants to be the man to deliver the final blow, but it's gonna be Vetso and Kazna take it all the way through and finally get the win.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. They came around. They came back from a 3-1 deficit, and also Wusa had a 2k HP lead in that steps battle, and Kazna Crew come back to win it. It's finally good to see Kazna Crew stepping up and showing what they're capable of doing it, because where have they been all season?
That's the question. Is it almost they've left it too late to get to this point? You've got to start asking these questions. That everyone else in that top 6 has some form of consistency. Yes, Wusa slumped a little then, I think. I think maybe what happened on steps kind of broke them coming into Prokhorovka. They made a mistake twice. You can tell they were frustrated by it. They barely got into Prokhorovka. But then you look at Himmelsdorf, strong team, really strong team. Now, I don't know what to make of it overall. I think that Kazan needs to work on something here. Maybe be their consistency, their focus, the way they play early game. Because they seem to turn up once the game's almost lost. That's the thing. Rather than going, actually, hey, let's play properly from bang on the start of this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's good enough going into an offline final, because by the time you wake up, by the time you get that little rude awakening, you're probably out of it.
True, 100% agree with you. But this shakes everything up. I mean, so, okay, Kazan won it, but that's only 2 points. So if we look at the rankings, Kazan's got their 12 points at the moment. They've got 2 there, so it brings up to 14 points, which puts them onto the same as Wusa. But Wusa got a point from that tiebreaker, so that puts them on the same as Schoolbus. So it's Schoolbus with 15 points, Wusa with 15 points, tied up for 5th and 6th place. Schoolbus still above. And then you have TCM Gaming on TCM Gaming on 13 points, just behind. So you got 13, 14, 15, 15. And then you've got EPS on 11 points below. So this next game between Schoolbus,
it could ruin everything.
And
could put
TCM
3
Gaming,
people on 15 points.
It could literally just throw these teams straight out into
what if
the
we have
weights bracket.
3 teams tied on the same points around that 6th place?
Then my mind will be blown.
But it could happen. Literally, TCM just need to win that game.
If TCM wins that,
they get onto the same points.
They put themselves in
as
such an
Schoolbus,
unbelievable
Wusa,
situation.
TCM. We could have a 3-way tie at the end of this, basically.
Yeah.
Obviously, more games to be played.
TCM will get 16 points to put themselves into 4th. Or
Unless
5th,
they go
to the tiebreaker.
And
then we're just going to be...
Which could happen in Schoolbus. And it's TCM. TCM either pull these massive comebacks or lose... I don't know. I don't know. This could be pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if we do have a situation where the teams do have the same amount of points at the end of the season, what we do is we go into the mini-league and we look which team is beating which team.
Okay. So it's head-to-head results.
Head-to-head results against the teams that are tied on the points.
Okay.
And whoever comes out on top gets the final spot.
Unless it's all drawn
so that's
up
the
at
thing.
that.
Like, yes, you might be able to beat like some of the lower teams and you get the points like that, but you do have to beat these mid-table and top-table teams to actually qualify, because you put yourself in an awkward situation.
It's going to be interesting. Anyway, you guys at home are going to love this. Melly, though, the votes seemingly went the right way, I guess. The guys at home, once again, they know what's going to happen before we do.
Obviously.
What do I know,
Well, their sixth sense is better working than ours, as it seems.
Oh, nice.
And let me just read out some tweets, because we talked about the vote earlier. 61% for Kazna Crew. So we thought that you're going the wrong way, but you're right eventually. Congratulations. And I just checked the entries, like the predictions, and we had over 250 people voting. Thank you very much for your participation at this point. But only 11 people got it right. Ooh. Like the exact result of 5-4.
Nice.
You 11 people are special.
Yes, you indeed are. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us and getting it right. But yes, the tweets. Those are the tweets for the last round, like the one before the deciding map. What did I just watch? What just happened? Kazna Crew just played absolutely out of their minds that game. That was amazing. Well, I thought that was heading 5-3, but that was just smart from Kazna. That's something Schoolbus will be cheering, I have no doubt.
It's a good point.
And about Murovanka being the deciding map. Murovanka is such a knife-edge map, but I think it's a map that dual coordination and aggressive plays of Kazna crew can pay off.
I think they got it right then. Yeah, they got it right before it even happened. So
Exactly.
they know what they're talking about.
Absolutely. We love our community. Our community is awesome. Thank you very much. As said, if you want to share anything else, just head over to Twitter. Follow us, of course, to stay updated. If you miss a match day, don't worry. Your timeline will be filled with updates from the servers, so you won't miss anything. You will always know the right score. And also make sure to use the hashtag WGLEU if you want to share anything regarding the league, about the teams, whatever. And you can also find the team profiles right beneath the Twitch channel streaming window, maybe. If you just scroll down, you can find all our social media platforms and direct links to the team profiles where you can see how the teams did during the season, their winning ratio, and all interesting stuff like that. You should use the 5 minutes break we are having ahead of us for that to roam around the team profiles a bit, and then we will be back a bit later.
Welcome back to the WGL EU. We are now moments away from our final game of the day, and it's going to be a good one, I think. Schoolbus up against TCM, two very old school teams now going head-to-head. What's your thoughts on this one?
Schoolbus has been so shaky over the last, let's say, 2 months, to be honest. They started the season well, but they've really been put to the test, I have to say it. So, yeah, I think it's going to be close. I mean, TCM have done well against Virtus.pro. They've done a couple of good results here and there. They've had a shaky season overall, but as has Schoolbus, a few 5-4s has been their way. So it's going to be a close game. It's going to be an interesting game for sure. I want to see if Schoolbus has improved than they have last time. I mean, last time they played Wusa, they went 5-4 against them. That was their previous matchup. So a lot of 5-4s for Schoolbus, and that's why they're sitting in the middle of the table.
And I think I have to give this one over towards Schoolbus. I still think they're performing slightly better. I think overall, I find it hard to doubt them, considering against WSD Gaming, they went 4-5. Yeah, they lost, but that scoreline's quite impressive, considering how well WSD Gaming then came out and went straight to number 2, basically, or third, depending on which way you want to look at it. But there's such a good lineup. So all in all, I think that Schoolbus probably in the better position here. And I think the sad thing is that if TCM don't get this win, they're in a really awkward position going forward.
They are in such a bad position. They haven't even got any easy games because they're going to fight Kazna at some point. So yeah, it's do or die time for TCM. They've had their easier teams. Now they need to step up to the mark and beat the big boys. But so does Schoolbus. They failed against Utopia. Got the 2 points there. They failed against WSD Gaming. They got only 1 point there. So it's seeing Schoolbus get into gear a little bit here because so far it's not going so well. Himmelsdorf is going to be the first map though. As we've seen pretty much in the whole of this half of the season, Himmelsdorf always been the first map. So that's going to be TCM's choice. So TCM will be defending first, and Schoolbus have gone for Cliff, where they'll be on the defense as well. So an interesting couple of maps. Haven't seen Cliff for a while, so it'll be nice to have a change of scenery.
I think it will be. I'm looking forward to Himmelsdorf as well, because it seems that Schoolbus has a lot of variation on there. I think that's a hard one to come into. But then again, a lot of TCM's players seem to suit the heavier tank lineup themselves. So maybe finding a little bit of comfort in that one. We'll have to wait and see. But you guys at home, it's all about voting and getting involved with us, Melly. If they want to get those early votes in now, if they want to start getting ready, obviously there must be a route to it.
Absolutely. Head over to facebook.com/WGLEU and then click the little link in the first posting on our timeline. And then you will get forwarded to an app where you simply have to choose your favorite team and then predict the exact scoreline of this matchup in a little text field below. And if you get all these steps right and, well, have a bit of luck, then you might win one of 5 bonus codes containing 500 gold and 7 days of premium. And currently the vote is already up and running. It's 78% for Schoolbus. So people have faith in the awesome drawn t-shirts we will hopefully see again on the offline finals.
I hope they're drawing them new every time, because I'd be worried if it's been 2 finals they've been to.
They don't wash well either, do they, those t-shirts?
I'm not sure if it's permanent marker or not, but I don't think you can put it into the wash. Pretty sure you can't put it into the wash. So that's
so you're assuming that they're wearing the same shirts over and over again?
It takes a long time to draw that stuff. I'm just saying. You should probably just buy some. You should probably just buy some t-shirts you can wash. I don't know. Just put it out there.
That'd be crazy.
You know that there are textile markers that actually stay on textiles.
Yeah, but do you see Arkley going down to like a arts and crafts shop and going, guys, I need a...
The guy's like 6'5". I don't think he's going into an arts and crafts shop, man.
I want some glitter for my new t-shirt, please. Some sparkly stuff. All right.
That would be amazing.
Good idea, actually.
It would be pretty good. We'll give them like if they do make it to the finals, give them a little extra task of creating a shirt in front of us with some glue and such. I think that's a good idea. It'd be wonderful. Anyway, that aside, Art School can wait. It is time to go back to the tanks, and it's almost time for the first map now between these two, TCM and Schoolbus. No strangers to each other, known each other for several seasons, but now it's time to prove who really is the better veteran. Himmelsdorf, no better map for it either. Very similar lineups apart from the T32 in play for TCM.
Yeah, TCM Gaming on the defensive side. T32 will be going hull down somewhere in C3. Last time we saw this map from Schoolbus, at least, was against Utopia, where they went 3-1 into the next side. So they won one attacking round. So Schoolbus has got a good track record on this one. So kind of surprised TCM went with it, but they should be able to pick up these two defensive sides. Now, TCM Gaming always worries me because they do really strange stuff. You can see that 5100
starting to do strange stuff.
Starting to do strange stuff, but actually it's a really good idea because those tanks on the hill, pretty much the whole of Schoolbus, are heading down that way, so Eurofish will be able to get a couple, 2 or 3, maybe even 4 shells out before he has to run away, and he's got the 2 IS-3s in the middle to support him when he does have to run.
See, and that's the thing that I like this. The more the hill comes back in, you see the players and the teams that know how this works, really utilizing it. And look at that play from Eurofish, already getting a nice opening shell towards Arclit. And everyone else is going to start rolling in. This is, Eurofish does need to back away. He is beginning to do so. So he's going to head off now. He might, I think he should be able to make it into cover, maybe receive 1 on the way if he goes straight across down the A line. Let's see if Annihilator can find anything. He's going to be the first to crest the corner. Eurofish is waiting. 1 shell received. Will it be 2? Does get 2, but gets tracked around the corner, basically. Well, almost gets tracked around the corner.
Not good play there from Eurofish. He was like 3 or 4 seconds too late to turn around. He was just a bit slow, and that's cost him 2 shells for just 1 exchange. But Cap does receive 1 of his own, so it's going okay. The interesting thing, I guess, is that TCM Gaming isn't really going for the status quo of a lot of teams, which is not using it, which is using the T-37. They're not using the T-37. They've got they are using a T-37.
My bad. Mate?
Sorry, that's Schoolbus. They're not using the T-37. The 2 IS-3s. I was looking at the wrong team. They got the 2 ISs instead of the T-37, so they're bucking the trend a little bit. And I think it's okay. I mean, you just got a lot more damage, a lot more firepower with that IS-3 with their ISs. So it essentially gives you another BL9, another 2 BL9s. And it's also a little bit pretty good hull down. It's got some good mantlet armor. So Schoolbus maneuvering themselves into position. You can see the 5100 of Purple Shift and Derzenik that are starting to rotate around. Eurofish, though, getting stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he probably will fall.
Well, that start was not ideal in the end. Certainly far from it as well. The Annihilator takes a shell to commit to that, but will walk away with the 1 now tank advantage. Good start there. We question Eurofish's position from the beginning. Maybe outstaying his welcome around that A9 line, A9 section a little too long. What does that mean for TCM now? Because to be fair, they're still up in HP.
Yeah, they're up in hit points, but the thing is that a tank out of the game was a massive deal. It was a huge deal, and that's a massive crushing blow to TCM Gaming, losing an AMX 5100 for nothing, really. They hit a couple of shells with the Annihilator, and in that firefight, it's really going to start to hurt. And I think Purple Shift might fall as well, because Shanish is on the side, and he doesn't realize.
Yep, there we go. A little bit of a cheeky play. This seems okay to a point, but now Durs spots him out. I haven't seen a battle in this side of the map in some time. Shanish gets sent back a little, maybe not expecting that, but the Annihilator has arrived on the scene, seeming like he wants to do some damage. Purple Shift gets 1 in the backside as he's hot on the heels of that T-37. Gonna just about miss him around the corner. But still, it's been a while since we've seen a skirmish down in the south.
It's going to be 2 versus 1 if Shanish and the Annihilator push forwards. But you got the T-32 of Still Mojo and support. Does Schoolbus know this? Do they want to continue going forwards? I think they do. But honestly, another 5 to 10 meters forwards might be just enough for TCM Gaming to surround and take them down.
Keep your eyes on it. What do they go for? Do they listen to you or not? And at the moment,
Shanish is on reload, so I don't think they are going to go for it.
They're backing away, and you can see the Annihilator did just hold himself as he almost went towards the west side of the map. But still, Mojo actually going straight around on the chase here. The Annihilator might be in trouble if he doesn't get away from this. The T-37 of Purple Shift in the front. He's got really nowhere to run. Still 3 more shells to make. Going to connect the first. Oh, 2 more shells, and a T-32 around the backside is getting very close. The Annihilator is out of options. Still, Mojo will take it away from him. Now 1 for 1, but 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. Is there an overmatch in the north to be had for Schoolbus, or not really?
Oh, I don't know. Schoolbus having to put more resources onto Still Mojo and onto Derzenik. They are going to push forwards into the cap, but the T-37 of Purple Shift needs to stay alive to get the resets on, and it's going quite well for TCM Gaming until Derzenik gets caught out in the middle. Oh, but he finds Shanish.
Yeah, taking Shanish down on the way, certainly good. And Armley maybe getting punished for going for the shot towards Durs there. Still, Mojo still ready and willing to defend his compadre. As now 5 players left with Schoolbus, but 20 seconds on the cap in the north. Maybe the distraction in the south was enough, but can they hold on? Can they pull the advantage to that northern side? The IS-3s ready and waiting. 20 seconds still on that cap. Dead Hunter at the front, Cap taking 1 at the side. Dangerous positioning, but I don't know if they've got enough here really to hold on.
No, they haven't. They can't cap right now. They have to try and push on to Yukai Kavi, and they know it. 20 seconds left, but I think the T37 is going to get back. Yukai is going to have to push forwards now. He might sacrifice himself, but it should just be about, okay, TCM Gaming has 10 seconds, but that's an eon of time to decap.
It is, but keep your eyes on it. You never know. Purple Shift. Oh, there we go. That's the connections they wanted, but now 1 minute and 10 seconds left. They're going for the push out. Apple Wow, Dead Hunter. Almost ignoring Yukai, going straight in for Kavi and Yizny, but bearing in mind that T37, that 5100 out down in the south can just run away. 1-for-1 exchange. Schoolbus are running out of time, running out of options, and running out of players, as Kavi did find Apple Wow, and now just Arclit and Dead Hunter left. It's not gone well for them.
No, it's not gone well. Schoolbus definitely have lost this game now. Kavi will get the next shot onto Arclit. Very low roll, 337. 390 is the average. Dead Hunter's getting a bit trounced at the moment as Nictus going to be in support from behind. He'll find Arclit, team captain of Schoolbus, leaving only Dead Hunter to try and pick up the pieces.
Yeah, Dead Hunter, I don't think anyone can pick those pieces up as he will be put down by Durs. And TCM Gaming off to a great beginning in this one, picking up, well, round number 1. Surprising, I think, overall for most of you people out there. Schoolbus on paper would be the favourites, but from start to finish, TCM looked like they were in control. And
it was a really interesting match. I mean, we've had some slow rounds on Himmelsdorf, but finally, it's good to see. We can see an exciting round. We can see lots of firefights, lots of skirmishes, a lot of plays, a lot of individual plays, and that's what I like about TCM Gaming. They always seem to make things exciting. Doesn't matter if they win or lose, they make it exciting, and that's what everyone wants to see. So, congrats to them, having the kind of presence on the Himmelsdorf, having the backup plan with Still Mojo and the T32. A very slow tank, but he was always in the right position. He had Purple Shift, he bounced a couple of shells, but he was in the right position all the time, constantly pestering like he should do in that T37. So good play all around.
Yeah, very looking forward to seeing what can be done in those upcoming rounds. There's so much to be seen here. And well, Schoolbus now have to really question what they're doing. Let's look back at Annihilator's choices in that previous game. You know, for a small while, you thought he might be able to turn this one, but just the nice kind of setup, the T37 immediately recognizing where he should be. That was Purple Shift, actually. And I often call out Purple Shift.
Wasn't great from him there.
No, but still, he played it well. He bought the time. He knew when to challenge, when not to. Backing away now and pretty much leaving it in the hands of Still Mojo to finish it off. So it was a nice little bit of coordination in the end coming out there. And I'll often give Purple Shift a bit of grief there because he does go down quite early on normally, but he held his own in that occasion, so nicely done there to him. But still, for TCM, that must mean the world to them to start off like this.
Start off well and start confident. Looked like they're on form. Schoolbus looked good as well. Just some bad coordination for them a little bit. So it's going to be a good match, I feel. I feel like we got a good match on our hands, guys. So do enjoy this one for sure. Lineups are staying the same. We've got Still Mojo and the T32, IS3s, AMX5100s all around. Purple Shift playing the T37 again. Only difference is that Armley is actually picking up the Waffentrager, the Waffle Tiger, you guys like to call it. So a lot more damage from Schoolbus, a lot more peak shots, a lot more firepower. Let's see if he uses the 12.8 or if he uses the 15 centimeter. That's going to mean a lot as well. Does he go for that DPM or does he go for the kind of around the corner shots? To me, it's all about the around the corner shots on Himmelsdorf. You have one shot, you need to make it hurt.
I'm excited about this one. I don't know if TCM beats Schoolbus on Himmelsdorf. I don't know what I'd make of that. It's something we've not seen in a long time. I don't know when that would have happened last, to be fair, but it's only been some time ago. But still, map is loading. We are now a couple of seconds away from getting this one started. Get those predictions going now. Maybe it's your time to adjust. You held off your prediction until maybe the first game had happened. You didn't want to rush into something. Now you've seen a little bit. Maybe you think you can get that vote in. Go on Facebook, go on Twitter, get those votes and predictions through to us on Facebook. You may even get some gold for it if you're correct. As you remember, those lucky 11 people did get it correct last time in the previous game. And one of them might be good enough for maybe a couple will get some of that gold. So the earlier you do it, the more chance you have. But now it's time to turn our attention into the game. It's time to get this one started between the one, the only, Schoolbus up against TCM. Now TCM are once again in the north, Schoolbus in the south. Any changes apart from that Waffle Tiger?
No other changes. IS3s, 5100s all around for them. As you said, the Waffle Tiger, the only difference. And for TCM Gaming, I guess the one thing they don't want to do is sacrifice an AMX 5100. You know, like in the previous round, they played really well, but they're always coming from behind because of that mistake by Eurofish, and there's generally not a great tactical decision. So they made it a little bit harder for themselves than they should have done. TCM Gaming all towards the left side. The 1-2 line is where they'll be playing, which at the moment is working out really well, as they've spotted those tanks and haven't really been spotted themselves. So TCM Gaming playing well at the start, at least.
A good beginning coming out. I want to see how they're reading into this Armley, actually. Could catch a glimpse of Eurofish, and vice versa. Eurofish trying to blend in as a truck. Very subtle. However, I want to see how these guys get around this. The I3 split up a little early on. Armley does get tracked. I don't think you've been all that able to commit any more to that shot. Almost 500 damage though. Yeah. Nice early start.
Yeah, it certainly is. Eurofish does though a little bit more back, and Dozenik has to try and reverse. Actually, I think Armley is using the 12.8, so 490 average damage. It's the first Ferdinand gun you guys would have used. So Yizny now in support. That's the thing. What TCM Gaming has to do is basically stop Schoolbus from surrounding these 250-100s, because it can become a very hard game for them as soon as they do allow that. They do allow the segregation, but the T-32 has been spotted. It's also spotted the T-37 on the hill. Does TCM Gaming think there will be another tank on the hill? Probably. You got the 50-100 there, but that's why you got Purple Shift in A5, B5 area, just defending and making sure he can spot and then run away. I mean, that's the thing for Purple Shift. It's not about doing damage for him. It's about doing the right damage at the right time and keeping alive. Keeping himself alive is so much more important than doing damage for that reset, for that pester at the end of the game, for that poke he needs. As TCM just seem to be holding on. They don't want to go too far backwards, and I think they might want to make a decision sometime soon to surround Schoolbus, because Schoolbus are being pretty slow and they are clearly waiting for something, which is the push from the 5100s onto the hill, from the hill.
Yeah, and as you said, maybe decisiveness from TCM could help out, but I'm still not sure of this western side aggression towards the south from teams on the defense. But then again, it's clearly working to a degree now. TCM starting to trail in HP though, as the damage starting to flow towards them, and that 5100 now joining back in. I'm not sure how these positions even work out. We didn't see this sort of head-to-head even back in the old days of the previous game mode, so I'm not sure who really has the advantage in this one.
I'm not sure either. TCM Gaming seem to be sticking to their guns and not moving at all. Eurofish can't move because of Arclit and Dead Hunter to his left, and then Cappy and Armley to his right. He's just got to stay safe as Armley almost finds another shell. He's made 2 so far for a nice 1,000 damage. One hitting Durs and one hitting Eurofish, but that was a huge roll there from Arclit. 449 damage, and Yizny's trying to mitigate some of that with a shell of his own onto Cappy, but the days look numbered for Eurofish once again.
They certainly are. Tucked into a corner, nowhere really to run, nowhere really to hide. You know he's going to be struggling to get out of that one. Then again, no one has really fallen just yet for either side, and 3 minutes left. It's insane to see it's been played out that way. The T-37 in the north going to get the cap started, force TCM maybe back into a more of a passive position, but it will be T-37 against T-37, as the Annihilator will have to deal with the 5100. And we are going to start seeing the move happening towards the south. We're seeing the I3, the T-32 spotting each other out there, Arclit taking one, and this is still such a backwards game.
Does Annihilator going 1 versus 1, but the Annihilator was always one shell ahead, so he does a great job taking him out. Does being found in the middle, and TCM Gaming have been surrounded, and at the moment tactic is not working out, and they are forced to push forwards.
They certainly are. I'm waiting to see how this one comes out for TCM. They're down 600 HP, making almost over a K now, as Purple Shift did find Shanish, so may be able to turn this one around, but I don't know, the 5100 in the back now going to come into play. The Annihilator waited patiently, and he could get a lot of damage done. Eurofish somehow still in this game on a one-shot, but it looks like the Annihilator going to look for Yizny, going to get the shot, doesn't actually find it. The Annihilator finally goes back for seconds, catches him, and now the HP looking dire for TCM. Yeah,
this is game over. This is definitely Schoolbus's game. Well, to Schoolbus's game to lose, to say the very least. Cap takes down Purple Shift in style with that IS-3, and Carvy's really the one left to try and do something here, and of course Yukai's still in the game. And that's the thing I always say about TCM Gaming. Why do they have to make it so complicated? Why can't they just defend standardly? I mean, I don't understand that. They clearly had lost it already, pretty much when Eurofish got caught out by Armley, and even when Schoolbus looked like they did what they expected them to do,
yeah,
they still lost it.
I don't know, it was a really weird game that. I haven't seen that in a while, and look at that Armley, 2.1k damage, nothing too crazy there, but everyone pretty much doing well from Schoolbus damage-wise. But as you said, I don't know if I like this kind of East and West split coming out. Not sold.
Yeah, I'm not sold either. We've seen teams do it before. We saw it between Kazna and Wusa, where the 251s go down, but the thing is, they only got one shot off. And Eurofish again only does 576 damage, Doesn't do like 320, so yeah, TCM Gaming definitely lost that game for them. I think they should just play standardly, for God's sake. Just play standard, play safe, and that should give them the defending round. Like, you have to pick up the defending rounds on Himmelsdorf. You have to do it, because you put yourself at such a big disadvantage now. You have to play out your skin like Kazna Crew did against Wusa. You have to, like, take it to the next level on the next map, which is unnecessary.
I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. Like, TCM start off brilliantly. Second round, not so great. I don't know what to make what happens when they switch sides. I don't know if Schoolbus is a better defending team than an aggressive team on Himmelsdorf anymore, because they changed. You know, if you look at it statistically, they're probably doing really well on the attacking side, because early in the season they broke it by pretty much getting that artillery. Then they had the next layer of, you know, the 8-line push, and now they have this south play that worked out against TCM. But then again, are they actually good at attack, or have they just kind of been leading the way so far? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how well they do now. Will they switch side on the defending half? I'm not sure. Yeah, and
Nuclear's actually been pushed into this team now, the highest damage dealer, I reckon, for Schoolbus. So he's going to be playing instead of Dead Hunter. I was kind of interested. Dead Hunter's been obviously a mainstay in Schoolbus for a long time, but he's usually the substitute. He did actually join them at the Season 4 finals, and he did win it with them, so he's a fantastic player, and I think they should use him more for sure. But Nuclear's time to step up now, as TCM Gaming go on the attack and Schoolbus are on the defense. Lineups also changed a little bit. TCM have gone for Waffentrager. You got who's it? Purpleship playing the T37, and for Schoolbus double 5100, double IS3 T32 KV3 Bulldog. So they've gone for 2 tier 7s, one of them in KV3 and one of them a Bulldog. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, curious lineup. See how it pans out. 10 seconds till we get into game and you can get away from the camera and my rather sickly face right now. Oh, I'll be glad once we get into game. Oh, I'm not feeling great. But yeah, still. All even so far, so this is probably going to be a nice long game for me to suffer. But for you guys to enjoy, which is the main thing. So 1-1 so far, battle number 3 coming up. The side switch will come into practice. So up in the north, it will be Schoolbus defending. In the south, in blue, it's going to be TCM on the attack. And what do we make of the initial play? Once again, what is with this new western push? Why is everyone doing this?
Well, they're just trying to get initial advantage. Simple as that. But the thing is, it's the Bulldog, and TCM Gaming didn't have a Bulldog last time. So it's the M41 to make that western push to see what TCM Gaming is doing. And this is the thing, guys. TCM need to pick up one of the next 2 rounds. They simply need to do it. This is TCM's map. This is their side. This was their side on the defensive one. So they just need to do it. Purple shift hitting Cappy on the hitting Cappy as he pushed around, but unbelievable. Cappy actually made that shell through the train and detrack Purple shift. That's like incredible. So I wish we had like first-person view so you can actually see how insane these shots are. But Amarak went off on Cappy, so he's always had to use his repair kit, which is a big deal for a light tank. And he's just poking away and just keeping TCM at bay.
Yeah, one day we'll get first-person. One fine day.
One day.
At least we hope so.
Yeah.
I'd love to see first-person in this game. I think it would change things as to how it looks out.
Soon
but still.
TM.
Soon.tm. But still, what do we make of this IS3 play coming up through the middle here? The 5100 trailing behind. A little bit split up, though, from TCM. I'm not sure if I like it as much as Schoolbus doing it for some reason. A lot more kind of pressure to the north here.
Yeah, TCM Gaming, very interesting. I mean, double IS3 5100 is clearly a big stack. All towards the right side, triple IS3, in fact. So TCM clearly are waiting for something. Now, I kind of expected at this point the T37 to be on the hill just to put some pressure in there and to maybe just spot out. And maybe just to cause some of the Schoolbus guys to kind of reinitialize, reposition, and point some turrets in the wrong direction. But instead, looks like he's going to be along the line. And this reminds me a lot of what Julian Epcorns has done before, and WSD Gaming as well, what they've done on Himmelsdorf. And haven't worked out too well. But Yorfish just getting in position now, getting back in towards the game. 5100 still towards the left side, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. How quick that 5100 is going to be as Stillmojo does make the cross. He has to go hull down.
Let's see what he can do, though. Yukai, Carvey, still Mojo, Crest in the corner. Do get some good burst fire towards Applewell. Down to 144 HP so early on. That T32 just taking so much.
Perfect timing from TCM Gaming. I think if they even did it like 5 seconds before, they would have also found Shanish as he was on the cross. Still Mojo just had to take that pain to get that position.
Yeah, taking a little to gain a lot almost. Applewell down, reload. Cap as well, taking a little bit. And Shanish, as you said, could have taken more if it was a little bit earlier on almost. But still, good work from TCM then early enough. Only just hitting that 4-minute marker now. And they're starting to get that presence in. I still worry about the IS-3 behind there and the Bulldog, but then again, there's a 5100 and a T37 as well. So kind of even split, and looking at this way, TCM are holding the numbers, holding the HP. A great beginning on the attacking side, and Cap might be in trouble if Yizny does just about come around this corner. And bearing in mind, Purple Shift is also watching in the wings.
Yeah, the IS-3 will be able to get 2 shots on while Yizny kills Cap, maybe even just 1 shot. Purple Shift trying to make the shells in the front. I'm not sure if he can actually do them. He can't. As Shanish also receives a lot of damage up north, down to 232 HP, as still Mojo's been doing fantastic work in his own T32 hull down.
Yeah. Somehow Cap is just not taking damage. Every single shell seemingly holding in towards his tracks right now. Finally, a shell does come through, but it is from Purple Shift, not Yizny. Yizny waits. Purple Shift, the sustain.
He's dead. He's
There's
done.
nothing Cap can do here.
No.
Just dragged, held. Purple Shift, just kind of clinically doing it, not overreaching, just taking his time on it, which is always smart. And bearing in mind now, Schoolbus are trailing by a massive amount of HP, and TCM really haven't made much of a move yet.
No, actually, Schoolbus really have to be careful now. Arclit's doing some good work against Yizny, but that's all he's going to be able to do. 1 or 2 shells. Applewell does fall as well via Does and Ixta. Great positioning by him, but this is what Arclit does for a living. He's just so good at just staying there and staying put and not taking damage.
Finally, a shell comes through, but it was a lifetime until it did indeed happen, and maybe he can hold on here, maybe do something to turn the tides that are slowly but surely encroaching on the shore towards Schoolbus. A couple more shells come in. He's hit 1k damage. I don't think he can do much more here. He's trying to wiggle his way out, but Durs has none of it. Puts him to bed, and the cap has started, and Schoolbus nowhere to be found.
Yeah, Schoolbus now surely will lose this game. They've only got 4 tanks left. One of them is a 1-shot. Nuclear's also received 2 shells, so TCM Gaming just need to use their ample time wisely, push forwards, get their tanks into the right position, start to get that Bulldog, that Borshig into this game, because god damn it hasn't really done that much. 1,000 damage, that's 1 onto Shanish, 2 onto Shanish actually, and Eurofish does dispatch of him nicely. Now he's going to have to push around and do the rest here. There's 10 seconds left on that cap.
Yeah, not long on it, and I think they're out of options. There's a wall of ISs in their way. Even that Waffle Tiger takes a shell but doesn't go down. Long reload though, I think he'll know that he can't do much, but the time is of the essence, and the cap has come out on TCM, showing Schoolbus they can do the damage.
I was surprised. I am very surprised that TCM managed to win an attacking round, but they did. They had all the answers to Schoolbus's questions, and it was really good play all round. Much better than they were on the defensive side.
Yeah, looking very competent for TCM. I'm hoping we see more of that going forward. They read the overmatch as well. They allocated players to the right places, and I thought this was going to be an easy game for Schoolbus. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought this should be a comfortable pickup, but then this could also change things. If Schoolbus don't win this, they could be in real trouble themselves. They could slip out of the top 6.
They could, certainly could. I mean, this is what it is. Schoolbus and TCM Gaming are fighting for a top 6 spot right now. We had the previous game between Wusa and Kazna kind of decided a little bit ambiguously. So, like right now, it's about 4 teams which are decided on this game. And right now it's even Stevens. They're really, really on top of each other, and they're playing great together. That game was decided on Applewell peaking or trying to get across. I think what they wanted to do is get across and surround TCM Gaming again. But halfway through that, Applewell just found himself in no man's land, and TCM poked at the right time and took him down. So, you know, little mistakes like that are the difference between a win and loss at this level of play. So, going to be great. TCM Gaming now go on the attack again. They've evened it up, so they don't necessarily have to win the next round. But if they do, it's their game.
Yeah, I think if they do get to that sort of point. But then again, it's TCM. We know what can happen when they get to, oh, they're on the winning point. They somehow let a massive comeback happen. I wish it wasn't true, but I think we've all had our faith in TCM at one point, and then it going just really quickly down.
We've all been horribly disappointed at some point by TCM.
Pretty much. I hate saying because they're such a nice guys, and I don't know why it only happens to them, but the crumble is real.
It's a bit like that. I was horribly disappointed by that comeback from Maroon 5 at the Super Bowl.
I didn't even watch that. I saw Katy Perry.
One guy from Maroon 5, the old Maroon 5, and the rest of them, I'm just like, it's not Maroon 5.
What is this?
It's just rubbish. I was
just rubbish.
That's how disappointed I've been with TCM before.
Bringing up Maroon 5. So TCM, you're the Maroon 5 of World of Tanks.
Of the Wargaming League Europe. It's actually quite a good title to have, I guess.
I don't know.
But Maroon 5 have been like the top band before, so.
TCM at one point, maybe.
Don't know.
Maybe a stretch.
They've been good, but their best result was 4th at IM CBIT.
I wasn't even near World of Tanks back then.
No, it was about 4 months before you. Yeah.
No.
It was my second event.
Oh, what was your first? A DreamHack?
I am Katowice.
Just a small one to
ever
begin with.
esports event.
Nice.
I was put in the spa deck and my mind was blown. I was like, all these nerds coming to watch video games. It was incredible. It was amazing.
It's pretty
I had like
good.
Joe Miller like tripping over my wires all the time, like unplugging the camera because he's so clumsy.
I think Joe is a fantastic person. I don't know what you're talking about.
Just not very good with his feet, it turns out.
I know at a party once he like cut his foot on glass or something and almost died.
Yeah,
Joe seemingly does have some issues.
Yeah, he does. Definitely has.
But we love our Joe.
We're talking rubbish. Well, we are waiting for the teams. One of them are disconnected, but we're back in game. We're underway.
Yeah, so all the time that we do spend on camera talking absolute nonsense, it is because we are waiting on the teams to start. There's nothing else about it. Whether it be a toilet break, internet problems, there's various things that can go wrong. Obviously, we're depending on a lot of players to get ready for one game. So some things, can take a little bit of time. But they are ready now, so we'll get this one started. Final round coming up for Himmelsdorf now. I don't know which way it's going to go, but even if TCM win this one, do I then have faith in them? Or do I have less faith? I don't know. It's TCM. You never know with these guys. It kind of can go terribly wrong. But still, I have to wait and see. Teams are ready. We are live into the game. Let's find out what that scoreline will be after the first map going down. Schoolbus currently on 1, TCM on 2. And once again, TCM on the attack in the south. And stopping them in the north, it's Schoolbus on the defense.
See if TCM Gaming has what it takes to bring this map into a 3-1 scoreline. Cliff would be a hard one for them to win. They definitely need the advantage. So they're switching things up. They are going towards the hill. We're seeing that a lot from these teams. One time they go for the middle, one time they go for the hill. That's basically what happens. But the end goal is the same, that northern cap. TCM caps for the left side because of the kind of advantage they got, but that's because of the advantage, not because it's necessarily the best cap to go for. So a lot of options here for TCM Gaming. They're not wasting any time. Again, Shanish, like Eurofish, there to spot, sitting in the bush, but he is heading down. He's being a little bit. He's got to be careful because if he doesn't if he doesn't make a mistake here, then he could spot the whole of TCM Gaming as a push off.
Were words hard then?
They were very hard.
It was like 3 goes. I was like, he's gonna get it.
They just like vanished from my mind.
Well, Shanish might vanish from the map if he's not careful. That T-37 is moving off quicker than we saw. I'm not sure who it was last time who got called out in this sort of position. Maybe Eurofish, I think. And funny enough, Eurofish might have just got caught a little bit by Armley then. Shell comes back. What an absolute peach of a shot. Armley down 8-9-8 now. He's got to be gutted. Look at that.
Did you see how long the shell took?
That was unreal. You could see the travel time.
You could see the shell like traveling towards Armley's copula, and he actually hits it. It's just gutting for Armley. It was an incredible shot from Eurofish.
652 damage done.
750 is the average from that gun, so he didn't even get a high roll.
It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's the power of it, and I like this in play. I like it. It can kind of peer around. You've got to play it correctly, of course, but Eurofish is certainly a capable player. Now Yukai in position. Takes a little but gives it back as well in a way. And at the moment, we are seeing a very standard play out by Schoolbus.
Yeah, very standard, but TCM Gaming are now ahead, about 400 HP on this. They're getting into position. They're just a little bit spread around the map. I guess if Schoolbus wanted to, they could push out the defensive positions and actually crush TCM Gaming. But TCM are doing everything right. They got the 5100, being very careful, heading towards the T37. They obviously want to push up the one line. Got the IS3 and the 5100 coming from the bottom, the Borsig and the IS3 from the top. So they are surrounding Schoolbus, and they're going to come from every single angle. And I think it's going to work. They just have to be snappy about it.
They do. And still Mojo, Carvey does. All starting to come around. That T37 looking a bit vulnerable, but still Shanish there as well. But Shanish kind of stuck in an awkward position here. He can't really move much.
It's not a great tank for this position,
no,
to be fair.
it's horrific in this position. But Shanish, a talented player, but I don't know what he can really expect here.
No, it's a really bad position for Shanish. She's supposed to be nimble and running around the map, pestering TCM, but here he's just terrible. And Carvey, look at this, he's just going to come around, nail a nice shell into the side of that T37 and take it down to a one-shot for maybe even Purple Shift.
Oh. Shanish, no surprise, will be the first to fall here, and it looks like TCM might be en route then, possibly picking up a 3-1 scoreline to the early work from Eurofish, the man you can see on your screens. And then the follow-up on the Shanish. Brilliant stuff, but not seeing TCM make that final play just yet. Still 3 minutes to go.
I wonder if Schoolbus are ready and waiting for Yukai. Because Yukai's just going to peek here. As long as he doesn't get spotted, he's going to find a shell and right onto the back of that tasty AMX 5100 bottom. But Arklet is there. Oof, and Yukai does hit a shell, so it's Arklet and Yukai to exchange.
It is indeed Yukai. Backing away. I'm sorry, I'm immature.
Derriere, I don't know.
Beautiful.
Whichever.
Yizny does take another. So, at the moment, TCM taking a little bit, but they are starting the cap up. They're slightly down on HP, but not by a lot. Oof, Purple Shift. Not the best spot in the world. Apple there. Apple Wow there. Just peers around, and he's such a good player in those sort of spots, and just see what they can
Purple
bring
Shift
out.
just stay alive now. Like, don't even bother capping. Just stay alive, and just keep an eye on where Arklet's turret is heading towards, because that's going to dictate if you can actually cap. Yizny has also received some damage, so TCM Gaming are definitely at a disadvantage by about 1,000 HP. I think, you know, the fact that they killed the T37 is not a big deal. Not a big deal at all for Schoolbus. But they are still in this game, and it's really down to Arklet and Apwell to bring this game back for them. You can see the push up the middle now from TCM Gaming. Cap on the way. Perfect position by Purple Shift there. Did find an angle. And this is do or die time for TCM Gaming. Can they make this a 3-1?
Oh, here we go, TCM. You want this. You want to get this one done. This is your chance to get this one truly in your favor. Carvey takes the first, gives it back. 2 for 1 so far. Carvey taking a lot of damage, just trying to get into position. He's down to a one-shot. Still Mojo kind of folding in from the backside, but Schoolbus trying to hold on here. As the rest of TCM begin the assault. Armley does go down, finds it. Still Mojo, though, in response, falls. Cappy not giving up just yet, and Schoolbus going toe-to-toe so far.
I don't know what Yukai's doing. Eurofish is doing is really slow. He's waiting for the rest of his team, and that's allowed Schoolbus to go forwards and really do some real damage with their own. But Cappy does fall via nuclear, but I think it's going Schoolbus's way. They're doing quite well of fending TCM Gaming back, but Cap's still underway, and that's going to force the IS-3 from Schoolbus to go and reset.
Oh, here we go. Cap looking for it. Time is going to start running, though. As you said, TCM running out of time now. 50 seconds left. Need to start winning this one out. Schoolbus going to start playing the time if they can, and Applewell finding Eurofish. Perfect way to get it through. Arklet onto Carvey. That's 2 in a row, leaving just 2 alive for TCM. I don't think they can even cap in this sort of time limit, and I highly doubt Schoolbus will let them get close to this one. Applewell on so much HP, Cap as well. They played it well this time and just kind of weathered the storm, it seems.
Yeah, they just weathered the storm. Perfect, like, attrition game from Schoolbus there, but Applewell doesn't realize that there's an Icta, but doesn't matter. Applewell has the shells. Actually, he's on reload, so Duz is going to get a free Applewell kill. But it doesn't make too much of a difference as Nuclear is there to back him up.
There we go. Shell comes in. Purple Shift, last man alive. 5 seconds left. He was the one who took so much damage early on, and now stays alive the longest. And, well, he knows what's up. Schoolbus getting it in the bag. 2-2 now. This could be going a long old way.
Yep, it certainly could. Yeah, what can I say about that game? It was going well for both teams at some point. Just
it was
badly
swings
for
and
TCM
roundabouts,
game
wasn't
at
it?
the end. Just drop in something.
You okay there, Melly?
You alright?
Melly, you
Do
alright?
you want to make any more noise out there?
I don't
can
know,
give you
Melly.
a tambourine if you want.
I'd love to see Melly with a tambourine go wild in
She's
the
the
corner.
guy in the band with a tambourine.
I don't know, triangle maybe, cowbell. Cowbell.
Well, I
It's
used
hard.
to play guitar, but yes.
Triangle. Come on, triangle's much
Triangle.
cooler.
Have you
Not my
who are you?
evenness.
Are you the triangle person?
Oh.
I was probably the one with the recorder or just trying to play like...
Everyone had to learn the chord.
It was horrible.
Not good times.
Why is that a vital skill at any point in like a child's life?
Didn't teach me my taxes, but the recorder got nailed down.
Mary had a little lamb.
Ever.
Yes, nailed it. Yeah. Good old Mary.
I think they were just the cheapest instruments schools could buy.
You also had like an ocarina thing. Why the hell did we have that?
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a little... I don't know how to describe it. It looks stupid as hell. We looked like absolute morons.
Ocarina. Google it.
It wasn't great. It was not great. And the little glockenspiel.
Oh, glockenspiel was great. I used to play the glockenspiel. It was good. Good time.
You can just make any noise and it sounds good.
Yeah, it's really weird. Just like it sounds good to you. I'm not sure if it sounds good to anyone else. It's just like ding, 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 ding.
Anyway, we'll shut up. Melly, how's it going? Bye.
Hello.
Yes, back to topic, I guess. 75% for Schoolbus. Still going strong. The vote is up for a few more minutes. And, yes, didn't look good at first, but then... Superb first attacking round from TCM. Almost the best I've seen from the Wargaming.Let League EU. You agree on that?
Sorry? What?
I'm sorry. Superb first attacking round from TCM. Almost the best I've seen from them.
Yeah, I agree.
It was pretty good. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Okay, perfect. But yes, we prepared something else for you. I searched through the archives. Well,
it's an achievement to find anything.
I didn't know how to pronounce this.
We have archives.
Archives. We do have archives, and I found something very amazing. Yes, thanks to Carney, of course. Well, I found the team introduction videos from Schoolbus and TCM back from the Season 4 finals here in Cologne. And I would say, let's see what Schoolbus had to say on the Season 4 finals in September.
I think that team success is not just about training, it's also about team spirit, it's about how people communicate between each other in the team. It's all factors put together.
We don't have a captain, and that's why every player can think about tactics and every player can improve our game during the battle. It's not a game of a captain or one best player, it's a team game.
Our biggest strength is that we play together for a long time, we know each other, we can communicate real fast, we don't even have to tell each other how to do different stuff during the battle, because we just know how we do it and what to expect from your teammate.
I'm Wow, and thanks for your support, and pow pow pow, man!
For us it was a lot of time. We were training every day, and it was like 3 last weeks we just spent with training every single evening. So always when we get back from work, we gather on the computers and practice to get as much preparation as possible before these offlines.
At this moment in TCM we have 3 different team captains basically in the team. It can be a challenge at sometimes, but I think it's a big benefit to us overall, because we have so many ideas flying around in trainings and stuff like that.
We're just thinking what to do, because on the last event in DreamHack we, I think, put the stuff really on the high level, but we came up with some really brilliant ideas, so stay tuned and be ready for some crazy stuff tomorrow on the stage.
And yes, those were the 2 team highlight videos we had on our Season 4 finals. First, of course, Schoolbus with the awesome self-drawn t-shirts, and the next one was TCM Gaming with some faces that are not amongst their lineups today, but yes, just wanted to show you that from the past, and well, can't wait for the Season 5 finals. Whenever they will take place, but I guess somewhere in the soon future, hopefully. And I think there are some announcements coming up in the next weeks. And so stay tuned on our social media platforms. And yes, We have, of course, well, our awesome Facebook page, for example, facebook.com/WGLEU. Follow us there to make sure that you won't miss anything that we're announcing, of course, on our eu.wgleague.net page, which is, of course, shared then on our social media platforms. So you will be pinged as soon as something new happens in the World of Tanks universe. And, of course, make sure to follow our Twitter account at WGLEU, because not only we will keep you provided with live updates during the show, so if you can't follow the stream from home, in front of your computer or TV, or wherever you seem to watch your weekly dose of tanks, just follow the Twitter account and you get live updates during the matches, so you won't miss anything. And of course, if you're now thinking about maybe rewatching the VODs from the former finals, from the Season 4 finals, which took place here in Cologne in September, then just head over to youtube.com/WGLEU and roam through our playlists, and then you will definitely find the VODs. Well, but those were the last finals were played out in the old format, and the next finals will be the first. Will it be the first offline event that's using the new format?
Yep.
We had the test match, I guess, in Rumble in the
we did.
West, but
but it's going to be the first official one.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like somewhere.
We didn't
in between.
even say it was actually the format.
Yeah, it was just like
still could change.
Here is something that is different.
Yes,
but it worked out.
Yeah. But I think this would be the first. I'm not sure exactly on the dates in Asia, but I know we're before. Yeah, I think we'll be the first one. I'm not sure.
Careful how much information you
give
away. Like,
there's no dates there.
Ooh, he's going to get a slap on the wrist. So no, he held it close to us. But I think it could possibly be one of the first people to have the official offline finals. However, I guess people need to stay tuned to all our social media avenues to find out exactly when those offline finals are, as there will be an announcement very soon. That aside, though, I think it's time for the game. I believe the teams are ready. Let's get this one started then, ladies and gents. Schoolbus up against TCM is 2-2. TCM may be thinking this is the best way forward. Not get such an advantage that we can then choke and give it away. However, into this map we go. What do we make of the lineup so far?
Well, double T49, that's a big gamble from Schoolbus. If they hit even one shell each, it's going to work out perfectly. If they miss, it's going to be disastrous. I'm not exactly sure how you can fit two T49s on this map either, because they have to both play the same kind of role in the same positions. So it's all going to be about Annihilate and Shanish for the next 2 minutes, I think. So you can already see that they're kind of butting heads and they're both a little bit awkward there. And they are Annihilate, I think he's going to get spotted. No, he doesn't even get spotted. He does get spotted then. But Schoolbus must be thinking, okay, where are TCM Gaming? They must be in that western side because they're not contesting the middle. And that's a good idea from TCM because of those two T49s.
Yeah. And I don't know what to make of this. I don't know how I feel about seeing the double in play. And now, a little bit of damage going through Durs. Aggressive, and once again, a very strange beginning. Look at this. Yizny being forced off the map almost, kind of backing away, backing himself down. And so far away from the rest of his side, he could be singled out here. And I think they just keep catching a glimpse of him, and it's enough to keep those Bulldogs on the chase.
Yeah, TCM Gaming worrying me a little bit now, because they've segregated themselves. Arclit and Army just need to kind of pop over to find something, but the Annihilator gets annihilated via Eurofish.
Eurofish, though, takes a lot back for that. 671 damage done, but the corpse will roll off the hill as Armley takes him down. And this, well, it didn't go well. 5 minutes left, and TCM struggling here.
Oh, so is Schoolbus, but I think Schoolbus have the positional advantage because they have the hill, they have the higher ground, but TCM Gaming on the attack, so they need to be making the moves. And yeah, Eurofish did take down the Annihilator, which cancelled out one T49, but the thing is, Schoolbus still have Shanish as a second T49, so it's pretty good, but TCM Gaming are making a play into the middle.
Yeah, they are. They're trying it. Shanish, though, this is the thing, those T49s, one big hit, and then they're kind of out of the game for a while, and I think we're seeing Shanish suffering for that, to back out on only 203 HP. There's now Yukai. Starting to try and get in the battle. TCM holding on to this one. HP is definitely on their side. There's 4.9k against 3.9, a whole K. Look at this, though. The aggression coming out from Schoolbus just straight back over. And Applewell making it work. Pow, pow. Seems the man to be going in towards Yukai, down to about half HP, but Yukai somehow picking up these kills. Finally, Nuclear shuts him down, and we're seeing this one still looking quite close. Schoolbus might still turn this one, does, on nothing. Arcliff finds it, and yes, the HP is against Schoolbus, but they're still holding on very, very finely.
Look how much damage this T69 can do, though. Oh, still Mojo goes into a bit of an awkward situation now. I don't know why he went that way around, but Aphwao should fall via him. He doesn't. And, well, the coordination is absolutely fantastic from Schoolbus, but it might just not be enough.
Let's see. Still Mojo still in this. Pretty weak. Oh, too little too late, I think, is pretty much what's going to happen here. Nuclear is alive. He's in that T54 lightweight, something that we're looking forward to seeing. Maybe coming more into common play. However, I don't think he's in the position. He is quite literally surrounded by Yizny and Purple Shift. This should be a 3-2 scoreline. And the aggression from Schoolbus was met perfectly on each front by TCM. And this will be them taking the lead.
Unbelievable. That was really interesting play. I don't know how TCM game even won that one, to be fair. I mean, they surrounded Schoolbus on every angle. But the thing is, Schoolbus missed so many opportunities. They had Yizny and Durs and Ichter basically unsupported below. They could have just popped around there and taken them out, taken them down. Armley could have done that. Arclit could have done that. Cap could have done that. They could have done it. They could have all done it, but they didn't. And that's where TCM Gaming could get into that middle area. Still Mojo, definitely my man of the match there. Made a little bit of a mistake at the end, but he turned that corner and he just did so much damage to Shanish in that second T49 that it kind of slid the HP back into TCM's favor and gave them the win.
I don't know what to make of this game. It's kind of hard to call because sometimes Schoolbus look so much better and then TCM just looks so much more consistent. It's like two different really extreme attributes almost to them that some teams do better in one instance than the other. But Schoolbus's aggression then was something we haven't seen to that degree. Like
it was a last-ditch attempt.
It must have been. It must have been because that really doesn't make sense. And let's have a little look back because to me it was quite, it literally was their last-ditch attempt. They're down on HP. They know it. And now I guess they just try and make the most of maybe finding an overmatch, but then Durs coming through, Yizny finds position. I guess they never quite found that.
No, they didn't. And you can see that Schoolbus is still a better team in the coordination. Look how well they coordinate here. Arclit is such a good player, even though he's definitely not, when you think about light tank players, it's not like Arclit's first in the books, but he does so well here. He takes down Durs, and then Still Mojo comes in. Still Mojo should have gone right around this rock, caught Arclit from behind, but he goes left. And that allows these kind of shells to come in from Nuclear and from Aphwao. So just that difference, which can actually save you a game then. I mean, clearly TCM would have won it anyway, but you've got to be careful there.
Yeah, and I think the game is live. So let's turn our attention back into the World of Tanks and the WGL right now into the second map tonight. TCM now leading 3-2. One more round under their belt, and they'll be on match point. Big game coming up for these boys. And once again, in the south, in blue on the attack, it's TCM. In the north, in red, possibly on the aggression, it's Schoolbus on defense, funny enough. And at the moment, we're seeing quite the roaming squad. A lot of attention from TCM towards the west. And the same can be said to the east for Schoolbus. This is kind of contrasting.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened last time. Exactly what happened last time, down to the second. And this time, it gets the Bulldog being up in A-B3. It might change things up a little bit, but the thing that really slid it into TCM's favor was the most ridiculous shot into the middle by Eurofish. See where he is now? He's shooting Annihilator. He shot the Annihilator, took him down from this distance with the T49. He did die when he probably shouldn't have done because he was slow to react. But that's the kind of shell you just don't hit unless you are Eurofish or you are an alien. It's absolutely ridiculous. But you can see it straight away, the rotation coming around from Schoolbus. Kavi, though, right in support, and he's got Purple Shift behind. They might just receive a lot of damage before doing some of their own.
Oh, the Annihilator takes a bit of a leap there, and all this is sloppy from Schoolbus, just piling in. They've got the overmatch, but look at Arclit taking a lot of damage there. The Annihilator will find Kavi, but I'm not sure if it's a worthwhile exchange. At the moment, Schoolbus are behind in HP. They're even on players. They didn't really gain much from this kind of starting play that they kind of hurdled themselves back into. But TCM, quite unorthodox here.
Actually, the middle play, let's head over to the middle between Cappy and Nuclear, as TCM Gaming has seen the push in. And they've seen that Schoolbus want to take the other areas, and it's going to be Eurofish to go across, and he actually gets absolutely wrecked. as Nuclear has the armor on the turret to ward off that damage.
And Nuclear's been great in this tank. That T-54 lightweight, he's liked it from the start almost. He was the player that I confused with the Annihilator earlier on about who really enjoyed it. And actually, he'd been picking that before it became a trend. So, kind of impressive that he kind of picked up on it earlier on. But Armley will find Purple Shift. And already maybe Schoolbus finding a way back in here. Just in the lead with HP, just in the lead on kills. But the positioning is just here, there, and everywhere. But Nuclear again, cheeky little shots.
Yeah, Nuclear shouldn't be allowed to do this. Nuclear should just be dead right now. He hasn't really got so much support, and he's kind of on his own. He's such a great player, Nuclear, especially in that T54 lightweight. Now it's TCM Gaming, so they kind of fluffed a big opportunity to make a win by leaving those Bulldogs alone. Now he's going to go in, and to be honest, I don't know if this is going to work.
I'm still baffled that Schoolbus get away with that, yet TCM is still struggling to make the most of it. However,
oh my God.
Eurofish finds Applewell. What is going on here?
Eurofish, such a beast.
Where was Applewell? I actually don't know.
He's just far away.
Jesus, that is a long old shot.
It's a big shot there. 858 damage. One of them was 341. The second one was about 500 HP. Ooh, Shanish is going to peek against Still Mojo, and it's a great idea because he's got the TM41 in the back, but Cappy does fall via Yizny.
He does indeed, and Still Mojo actually got picked up by Armley, so nice little bit of, I wouldn't say team play, but good kind of cohesion there. Support each other in this. Game's still close overall. Both teams kind of struggling to find that way in, that real path to a decisive win. But you know, seeing now, maybe Schoolbus starting to chip away a bit of an advantage. They're starting to actually chase TCM around as well. But then again, TCM are on the attack, and time will start becoming a big factor in this one now.
And Schoolbus can't actually chase them for too long.
Yeah.
TCM Gaming would put them in a very bad position if they did chase them all the way around, because well, the 251 will just wreck that AMX 1390 hull down. It looks like the two AMX 1390s had enough of waiting around, had enough at Nuclear, and just want to kill him.
Yeah, I think frustration almost being the thing. Nuclear has gotten away with this position for almost too long. Let's put it that way, considering where the rest of his team is.
Still alive.
How is he alive? Yizny just finally takes him down, but look at the damage he was able to do just in that instance.
3 versus 1, and this is the thing in World Tanks, like, if you can get one more shell than you should, because the World Tank's about timing with shells, like if you get one more shell than you should, you've already done your job superbly, and that's exactly what Nuclear did. He managed to outplay Yizny, got into a better position, and it was just great stuff. Armley trying to get a little bit of shells back, and the Annihilator finds Yizny, and he just shouldn't have been spotted for so long. And that's an individual player mistake that's put Schoolbus firmly back into the driving seat.
Yeah, just HP everything on their side now. You can see the Annihilator's going to have shells available. We've got Shanish, of course, waiting, and Armley. 4 more in the chamber almost, and it's a hard lineup to come up against. Then again, the T49s aren't too accurate, I guess. I've been proven wrong on this map.
Really inaccurate. Really inaccurate.
Then again, it's not people hit these crazy shots.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, because they're great players. But the thing is, it's not even the inaccuracy that's annoying. It's the length of the shells, how long they travel through the air. They're just so slow because it's a HE shell and it's a big shell. So it's like you have to predict really well. Ooh, but look
at that 1390 on these.
T49 and the MX 1390 surrounding Yukai.
Oh, Armley coming around the backside. That's going to catch him off. Turret wasn't even turned towards it. Maybe not expecting that, but Armley resets, but does. Mike going for the challenge here. Eurofish not focusing towards them. Armley did take a little bit of damage, but I think he's almost buying enough time here. If he can stay alive, that's perfect. He's expended his shell now, so yeah, he's on reload. He's kind of a sitting duck. But still, I think he did his value here. He pulled his weight, and he will go down. But look at it. Kills coming off the back of that. And now 2v2 is dangerous because it's a T49 still in the game. The Annihilator does find Duz, but 2v1, this is going to be tough. As Yukai does have 2 shells. I don't think he's got enough time, though, in this.
I don't think these T49s are particularly good. I mean,
not in these situations.
They haven't done, like, big shells. They've hit shells they shouldn't have been able to. But to be honest, they haven't really done like 1,000 damage shells, 900 damage shells. You can see they've hit 3 and only done 1,000. Yukai's obviously down and out for the counters. Both these T49s are going to come around, and the Annihilator will just finish him off with a good 900 damage there on the MX 1390, obviously loading HE. So it could have gone TCM Gaming's way.
but it just didn't.
See, I agree with you. One T49 for me is perfect. I think that has enough of the burst damage that can just really have a big impact. But any more, I feel you lose a lot of the sustained damage that maybe a 1390 can expel. Even a T69, I guess, to a degree. You know, something that can fill that position a little better. The 251, anything can kind of do that job, I think, a little bit better. And I just don't like, you know, the slow kind of time between having a shell available, being so vulnerable. Let's be honest, if it wasn't a 2v1 in that situation, if maybe the other player in the 1390 had all shells ready, it could have gone a lot different. And I don't think they're an ample tank to be left in that situation. I think one is prime. Anymore, you're probably at a disadvantage, personally at least.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's really tricky. Sometimes it works. It's such a gamble. But, you know, that game wasn't won and lost on the tanks. Yizny peaking a little bit too long, getting taken down, was the reason why TCM Gaming pretty much lost that one. Also, Nuclear did
How did Nuclear stay in that position?
2,130 damage he did that game. And that's, to be honest, the real reason why TCM Gaming lost. You know, they eventually decided to deal with him, but it was too late. They should have just done it straight away. As soon as Schoolbus pushed off that hill, just deal with Nuclear, because you win two things there. First of all, you kill Nuclear, and second of all, you cause Schoolbus to turn around and stop chasing your tanks that are running away. So.
And bearing in mind, most players in that position will probably hit a K damage before they get taken down. Whether it be a T49, cheekily peeking up, getting maybe 2 shots in, probably equating to around 1.5 or 1K damage around that. Hitting 2.5 is literally 1,000 extra damage than what most would achieve, because by that point, they'd have either received so much damage just in that kind of 1v1 challenge you often get on the hill, or just someone would have pushed to him. They gave him extra time to be in that spot, as you pointed out, and it cost them a lot. That's almost a whole tank down and out, maybe halfway there almost, or well over halfway, should I say. But still, a lot more to be played here. TCM, I worry, starting to get the TCM crumble effect on.
Yeah, they could be a real slippery slope right now. I mean, they do see TCM Gaming move over to the defensive side. Schoolbus gets a chance to attack. They switch those 2 T49s to 2 T54 lightweights, played by, of course, Nuclear. He's just been absolutely fantastic in that one. And the second best player from Schoolbus is going to be Apwal playing the second T54 lightweight. TCM Gaming, they've gone with 3 MX3090s, a T49, T54, and a 2 Bulldog. So 3 3090s, quite unusual. We see 251s a lot more. I think this might be one of the first times we haven't seen a 251 featured in the team's lineup on a map like Cliff or any kind of open map. So TCM going to old school, and it might just work.
Let's find out. Maybe this is what TCM needed. Maybe this little bit of a refresher, because currently the scoreline's not looking so drastically in their favour. As you said, though, the sides have turned. The tables have turned, you can almost say. And we'll be seeing TCM on the defending side, and Schoolbus up on the south on the attack here. So, I'm not sure if it really changes much with these guys. This map has seemed very classic to the way it plays out, but a big split here actually to start with.
Yeah, big split up, and I'm actually surprised TCM's just not going for the initial brawl through the middle. I mean, T54 lightweight's great, but it's not a good gun. It doesn't do a lot of damage. 250 average, yes, is okay. Reload's not as good as a 251. Just not a damage tank. Whereas the MX3090 is, and if you have 2 254 lightweights on the other team, and you have 3 MX3090s in your team, just go in and see what happens, because it's a gamble, but you simply start off the engagement at an advantage based on your tank. So a little bit surprising for TCM Gaming. They have rotated all the way around the Lighthouse Island, very unusual from them as well. So Still Mojo is being spotted, and Schoolbus will have to start reacting now.
They're going to have to. They need to find a response to this, and well, already a lot of damage coming in still. Mojo just gets deleted off the map there. An instant advantage. Purple Shift did find the Annihilator back, so a 1-for-1 exchange, but Schoolbus firmly in the driving seat at the moment.
Still Mojo, you can't stop in the middle of the map when you're fighting a T49. It's just going to hit him, but Armley getting cancelled as well, and that's a 2-for-1 exchange, and Arclit's next.
Arclit in real trouble now, surrounded, but Apwal trying to get him out of it. Another exchange. Still, though, Schoolbus kind of being turned on here. 3 down, 2 down for TCM, so a little bit of a backwards affair in this one. Eurofish waiting to expend that shell, a big shell, bear in mind. Durs will go in, be the bait almost, set himself up here. A little bit of miscommunication maybe. And Eurofish not going to take the shot either, and as you can see, Cap and Chalish on the rotate.
The thing is, the MX3090s at TCM Gaming are reloading Yukai is. Eurofish needs to stop being caught out. Apwal's been on point with that T49. He's basically kept his team in the game by one-shotting both Still Mojo and Carvey. So, you know, that's a big deal. If he hadn't hit those shells, TCM Gaming would be walking away with a landslide victory. That's a thing the T49 can do. Purple Shift as well, not helping himself, getting caught out in the middle there. And this is the thing, the play from Schoolbus is just unbelievable right now.
But can they keep doing it? Can they keep themselves in this one? I don't know. And Eurofish finally gets towards it, but Nuclear still in this spot. We said it before, it's huge, but Apwell gets surrounded, and 3 left for Schoolbus, but Nuclear still fighting. Shanish in the background trying to help him out, and looking at the way this is going, it's still kind of up in the air here. Schoolbus trailing a little on HP, but I just don't feel I can count them out, and Nuclear still on the run.
He's so goddamn good at this game, it's almost upsetting. He's just a sick player. I mean, it's next level stuff. You guys have really got to work to actually take him down. He's never out of the game. He's always in there. Finally, Excel does connect via Euralfish, I believe, or might have been just a high roll from Does a Nichter. No damage from Euralfish. So TCM Gaming now winning quite comfortably. They need to take care of Nuclear, though, at some point in time, and Euralfish might just peek, but Nuclear is aiming towards him, so that's going to be a risky one, especially with Cap in there. Oh, he can't do it. If he does it, he's lost the game for TCM.
Let's see if he can hold his nut. The discipline is huge, and Nuclear's toying with it. He knows that he's testing his patience. He knows that, and he's just enjoying watching him have to push and pull around and waiting to see if he fully commits here or not. Euralfish, patience is certainly being pushed to its limits. Jukai will ever reload. They're slowing down the pace. TCM, I don't know what they can do here. I feel the longer this goes on, the more it's going to go wrong. But did Yesny just get around the back somehow? What the hell? How did he just slip around there? And now they're going to fold. But Nuclear still in this. A lower roll. Nuclear took down Euralfish. That was the worry. And now Yukai takes a lot of damage. Did he get tracked for a second?
Yukai got tracked then, but Shanish was an autoloader, so it doesn't matter. It's 3 versus 2 right now, and Yesny in that T54 lightweight is stepping up for his team. He is hitting the damage more than Nuclear this round. Shanish a one-shot, Cap in that M41 Bulldog. Can't do a hell of a lot of damage unless he can sit there and pump out those shells. And Yukai on the cross, waiting and rating. They got to send Durs in. He's got the most HP.
He has to be the man to make the play. Otherwise, Schoolbus will just work away at them, chip away at them. And Shanish there takes a peek. Cap goes around. Shanish took down Yukai. It's a 2v2, but time. They're still in the attack. Schoolbus. Cap, dangerous play here. Gonna try and push himself down the hill. Shanish takes a shell. Down to a one-shot. Does find Shanish. It's all on Cap now. 1v2. I don't think he can physically do this. Yesny picks it up with the ram in the end. And TCM get themselves onto match point.
Sick stuff. So much fun to watch. It's really sick stuff.
There were so many small things that could have gone wrong either way.
The thing is, like, the tactics didn't even matter then. That was like patience, just player ability, and just coordination at the beginning. Like, the coordination at the beginning was on point from both teams. TCM Gaming having the balls and the gall to basically push around onto the backside of Schoolbus. They got punished it via Still Mojo.
Yeah.
Which is lucky. I mean, Apwell kept him in this game. Apwell basically one-shot 2 tanks at range. So, yeah.
It's unreal. And even at the end then, who was he who went on the split around the back of the Lighthouse Island to then try and, was it Nuclear who was pushed down the hill then?
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was who went all the way around to kill him, and it was just
Yesny.
insane. Yesny's play then. If he'd got caught out earlier, if Shanish had spotted him 3 seconds earlier, 2 seconds earlier, it would have completely gone wrong. Nuclear then would have picked up the shot on towards the hill, on towards that T49 who was on the hill. I can't remember who that was either. My brain's gone blank. So Euroffish would have gone down to Nuclear. You'd have seen Shanish picking up the kill onto Yesny, and then it would have been completely turned around. That's the difference of 2 or 3 seconds. And then that's just one of the moments that could have gone either way. As you said, discipline, everything coming into effect, player skill, ability. And in that one, TCM came out on top. Not probably what you'd expect. If I asked you, hey, who's the better team at discipline plays, at individual skill, you'd probably say Schoolbus. But then I guess TCM recently stepping up their game.
Definitely. TCM's on point right now. They're fantastic to watch. It must be pretty frustrating for Schoolbus because this is like the 3rd time in a row they've had a 5-4. Like, it's going to be a 5-4 either way because TCM Gaming has got 4 points now. So they can only get 1, which is not what they need. They need the 3 points. They don't need the 2 points. They need the 1 point and they need the 3 points because they're on 13. They need to get up to 16. 15 is leaving it a little bit too late.
I'll be a bit sad if I don't see Schoolbus at offline finals.
I'll be very sad.
We need Apple.
I think Schoolbus will do it even if they don't win against TCM. But TCM Gaming needs to win this because they'll be fighting Kazna Crew. And Kazna Crew...
It's time for a chance. This is the last chance for TCM. We said that
Kazna just lost against. Well, Kazna won against Wusa, but it was 2 points. So
exactly.
They still need to win against TCM.
There's still a chance here for TCM overall, and I mean a slim chance, but this would be where it begins, and TCM have the overmatch here in blue, in the north, on defense. They've spotted out 3 members. Arclids gets melted down, and surely Shanish will follow. He's left out his own purple shift up against Shanish. Yukai gonna help him out. Overmatch 2v1. Same with Cap, and by the time the rest of Schoolbus arrive, surely this will be too little too late. Maybe not. Armley there comes in. Cap takes one. It took him time to take down Shanish in the background then, but maybe there's a chance. The Annihilator finds Eurofish, still fighting in the Schoolbus. Don't want to let it go just yet, but Armley flies in, trying to single out Still Mojo, but does. Finds Armley. Back and forward we go. Applewell gets Still Mojo down in the push, looking like maybe Schoolbus can turn it, but the HP says differently. Yukai finds Applewell, takes him down, takes him out. 3 now stand for Schoolbus. TCM look like they're on the verge of doing this now. Just 2 remain. However, only against 3. Can the new additions to Schoolbus pull it off? What a shot comes out. Now Yukai down to nothing. Annihilator getting shots in the back. 2v3. This is still possible. They just need to take down Yukai. They can still do this, but it's going to be an incredibly tough task.
Annihilator's going to come off reload, and Yizni's on reload. This is not good timing at all from the side of TCM Gaming. Annihilator just needs to make this one shot. He's going to do it. He's going to take down Yizni.
It's 2v2 and Yukai being pushed. Nuclear waits on the shell. Does he have it? Yukai's going to have one to make any second now. This could go either way. They're holding on. Schoolbus aren't done yet, and now Purple Shift left in a 1v2. 4 shells really here to make. And he gets denied. Nuclear comes in. The 2 new additions to Schoolbus. Just step the hell up.
The throws. The throws.
It's TCM, boys.
The throws. The throws. What is that? Why? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me, TCM? 941 damage shell while moving at about 150 meters at full speed onto an AMX 1390. Part and part by the Annihilator.
Always happens, boys. Always happens.
It's like ridiculous. It's like rolling a dice and you win the game. And then Yizni decides to YOLO in even though he's on reload. It was bad. Like, what the hell? Yizni, he just needs to stay back. He just needs to stay back. And then he can get the kills at range. He doesn't need to go 1 versus 1 against the T49. Doesn't matter if it's on reload or not. The throws are
It's
unreal.
a lot of choking though. There's both of these teams. You know what I mean? Like individually, I'd say Schoolbus still hold their nerve because they're Schoolbus, right? But TCM depend on being a good team as well.
Yeah.
And TCM didn't have that game. They crumbled under the pressure. They should have had that.
They should have won that one easily. They had the overmatch. They had the tanks on the lower road so they could stop Schoolbus from pushing through.
They had 3 tanks to pick up.
They had 1,000 HP advantage. And then this is where it starts to go.
Schoolbus are 1.2k health right now. They've got 2 players. Big hit towards Yukai.
That's the shell. That's the shell that changes it all. And then you can see how scared Purple Shifters are pushing in. But Yizni isn't for some reason. Look at him. What is he doing?
Just maybe expected to hit that one. I don't know. Why would you go in like this? Maybe miscalculating the time to it.
Purple Shift all the way back there. Yizni on Yukai and reload. Like, wait for Yukai to come off reload and then have Yizni and Purple Shift to basically destroy Nuclear and the Annihilator if they do go for him. So this is just GG's. Prokhorovka it is.
Deciding that, boys and girls, this was never going to be a quick day, but it's certainly filled with good tanks, I've got to say it.
Goddamn TCM Gaming.
TCM, one day
I want them at the finals just so we see some heroic throw at some point.
Oh God, Melly, had the people at home even predicted this? Like, I don't even know what to expect. Like, I don't know what to say anymore. Like, TCM, what are you doing?
So sincere.
What are you doing, TCM?
I really can't wait for reactions in Twitch chat as soon as
they're gonna go crazy.
Absolutely. They're already, like, well, Twitch chat is always a matter on its own.
Yes. Yeah, it's a unique place.
But absolutely.
It's an intelligent place.
I don't kiss their ass.
So much intelligence on one point, and most of them can do it better than the pros.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they're better than the pros. Like Twitch
they're
chat
better than us, than the pros, and everyone.
Twitch chat's like that fat guy in the pub that shouts at Gerard to score the goal at like 30 yards out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
I didn't say that. That was Ollie. Just so you know, Laughter WOT on Twitter. Just him.
I didn't mean it as an insult. I'm just saying. Fat guy in a football shirt at the party.
You don't make it better when you repeat it again.
I'm just making it more detailed. I'm explaining myself, all right? I love your Twitch chat, you know it.
They will definitely believe it. Definitely. But yes, people. You voted with 75% for Schoolbus, and, well, the interesting fact is that a lot of people actually voted, predicted that it's going to a decider map, but more people are thinking that Schoolbus will take it on the decider than TCM, like 4 times more people.
It's kind of insane. I don't know.
The numbers. Too confusing, Melly, at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's getting late now. It's 11. I don't know.
I made it perfectly clear. Like,
we're simple creatures.
I
heard 4 times, and I just thought.
Maths.
I don't know.
Oh, that's too confusing for you.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Do you understand
let's
now?
Explain. Like, one person says TCM is going to win, and 4 persons are saying that Schoolbus is going to win on a decider.
Yeah.
He gets it now.
Yeah, I get
there we go. You got to give him
quite
like
a lot
a
of my brain. I'm not gonna lie.
It was just like, oh.
But yes, that's interesting if you ask me. I mean, more people are saying that Schoolbus is able to take the deciding map than TCM. What you guys are thinking about this, head over to Twitter and tweet us by simply using the hashtag WGLEU. And as said, I can't wait for the last round to actually happen so I can see all the reactions on Twitter, in Twitch chat, and
it's happening right now in front
of me. That's why I'm looking so confused. I don't want to miss the moment. I don't want to. But yes, we will come back to that later. What will we do without Schoolbus on the finals?
I don't know. I'd miss it. I would miss it.
We wouldn't be able to get to the finals. We wouldn't have any Schoolbus to take us there. Just carry on. Just talk. Just carry on. All right. Just go. I was going to go somewhere with that one, but I just, yeah.
It's one of the sentences that sound better in your head than speaking out loud.
It didn't sound good in my head either.
Why did you say it then?
I don't know.
It's late. It's 11:05.
It's past my bedtime, all right.
Aww. And we'll be here tomorrow as well. So people, if you like the show today, and how about tuning back in tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. because the super streaming week is on, and we have a lot of matches prepared. And I don't know how the team's doing.
I love watching chat, and all the players are just like, oh no.
RNG.
Even like
RNG.
Still Mojo just laughing away. It's fantastic. Just like, oh no.
So yeah, we're gonna move on to Prokhorovka. I'm gonna have a little look who's actually on which side. TCM.
Oh, TCM get to pick side?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know which game that'll be from, but...
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
I'm still waiting for Armley to connect to the game again.
Okay, so he's having an issue. Or just restarting his game, maybe.
Probably restarting his reel or something.
Yeah. But still, this has been an incredibly long game, but it's been pretty darn good. I don't know what to make of that last game. A cacophony of just mess, I think.
Yeah, it was so unlucky. I feel so sorry for TCM because like that second to last game, even though they won it, like it was RNG already. And then that last game, despite Yizny's YOLOing in, like there's no way Schoolbus should have won that one. There's just no way.
I don't know, guys. I don't know anymore what's going on.
I think we should like ban the T49 from competitive play.
Or does it just mess with you too much?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we should do that. It's too OP. I don't know.
It's not OP. It's just ridiculous.
It just messes with Ollie's brain.
Yeah.
Let's take it away because Ollie doesn't understand things anymore. He's just kind of done with this.
Right.
But yeah, as we said, we are waiting for the final player. But now is your time, guys at home. Hashtag WGLEU. Let us know your thoughts, of course, on this matchup. See how it's going. Who's really making the big plays? Who's making the bigger mistakes? I think I know which team you'd probably vote for on that one. But still, you know what I mean. And of course, tweet at all of us here at They Call Me Pansy for myself, at Laughter WOT for this idiot, and Melly with a 3 for the most beautiful person on the desk, of course, apart from Ollie. very, very pretty.
You went from idiot to beautiful.
You don't have to be...
It's like bipolar. I think you're going slightly insane.
You don't have to be
here.
smart to be good looking, do you?
Yeah, I don't think... Yeah.
Generally, they do oppose.
Yeah.
That's why you're thick as hell, right?
I'm not good looking, so I'm just...
So you're intelligent.
I'm stupid and I'm ugly. So
Aww.
you know, both those things going for me. But I do know the average damage of the MX-5100, so I've got that going for me, which is nice.
You're an idiot. This is what happens when it goes late and the players take their time. This stuff right here, it goes really badly
then
wrong.
Then we get an angry email saying, "Why are you guys talking rubbish on the show?" Well, we're waiting for
I don't get the angry email. It's more you who probably get it. And then it's like, Laura, please stop talking rubbish. Like, but sandwiches...
We have actually got sandwiches now.
We have. We sorted it out. Don't worry, guys. I know you were worried at home. A lot of you tweeted me saying, I hope you get those sandwiches. We did. We sorted it out. Don't worry. No thanks to Stephen. But still, hopefully the game will start soon. Hopefully we can get an update on the players because currently I know nothing. So we can hopefully find out how long you guys have to wait at home, apart from just us talking nonsense to you at like 11:10 in the evening. Updates are cool. But yeah, how you doing? You good?
I'm good. Actually, we seem to be ready now, so
that's nice.
I'll save you there. Double AMX 1390, double Bulldog, T32, and 251 from Schoolbus. It doesn't even matter if you're defending or attacking on Prokhorovka anyway, so it's kind of a fair map to have as a tiebreaker. Every match day we have a different tiebreaker. So tomorrow I think we'll be moving on to Murovanka. I think after double checking that one. Double 251, double T69 Bulldog, M44 and AMX 1390 and Pershing for TCM Gaming. So they're both not going for like the Evo Panel Squad 251 craziness, which I think is good because I think people are starting to catch on to that and kind of find a way of dealing with it. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this one's going to go. I think it's going to be again about the gambles.
Also, people are amazed that you can speak German, apparently. He just spoke German.
Oh my god.
I think you just said like a sentence to Melly at some point really badly. And, like, I remember what you said, but you nailed it, apparently.
I said understand. Do you understand?
Do you
I'm not speaking German.
Go on,
it's
it
11
really
o'clock.
well.
I can't even speak English at this point.
Like when you tried to pronounce like one player's name in a slight German accent, it was just like...
Dr. Tour.
Sorry,
Toya. Toya. Yes, Toya.
No, the first one was good.
Dr. Tour.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Nailed it,
I said
done.
Dr. Toya though, right? That's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you can say Waffenträger.
Waffenträger. I can say German words. My German's okay. I've been living here for a while, you know.
Oh, damn, Ollie, we're proud of you.
Should probably learn it more.
Yeah, we all should. Let's be honest.
Since you're half German.
Like, yeah, you are. You're basically a German, so.
I'm half German.
Made me sick.
But I moved to England. I moved to England when I was very small. It doesn't count.
I don't know. Stephen tries to do it the other way around.
Yeah. Stephen is just German.
Stephen is German. If you remember Stephen from like season 1.
It's hard to miss. Well, it depends what show you look at it. Don't miss him, but he's hard to miss. Double.
Anyway, I think the teams are ready. Finally, I do apologise once again. Yeah. It's not us just wanting extra camera time because I don't even plug my Twitter. They call me Pansy. It's because the teams aren't ready, but they are now. So let's get into the deciding map of the final game of the day before I pass out on my chair. So here we go. In the north, in red, it's Schoolbus on the defence and TCM on the attack in the south. And what lineups do we have here going on? Well,
we got a Still Mojo and a M44. Last time they used this, it didn't go too well for them. That's TCM Gaming, so it's going to be a hard game. So Schoolbus had the fastest attacking round, so they chose the defensive side. TCM Gaming are on the harder side. They are going on the attack. But again, these two going to the same side, both on the left. And to be fair, I think TCM will get the initial shots.
Will they? Will they connect him? That's the big thing. The Annihilator takes one.
Oh, this is not going to go well for TCM.
They're not hitting the shots, guys. Arclit takes one. No shot from Schoolbus just yet. Finally, we might see it coming in. Look at Durs as well. Straight down to half HP. Yisny is pushing through a Purple Shift and Carvey. But the Annihilator has already found Still Mojo, so this kind of split is paying off. Arclit also looking around the back of it. This could go either way still, but Schoolbus slightly down in HP. Maybe TCM have just dug themselves into a ditch and they're going to fight their way out of it. Nice work from Eurofish taking down the Annihilator, but Armley pushing in to try and pick up the pieces here. And it's certainly not over yet.
Yeah, but the T49s are reloading. That's the problem. But that's going to happen to Schoolbus as well at some point in time. Shanish actually doing some team damage against Cappy. And well, the 251s are doing the best they can, but I think Schoolbus are walking away with this one.
They're starting to build that momentum, starting to build that lead, but Eurofish constantly trying to drag them back into this. TCM trying to hold on by the thinnest of threads. Shanish now peers across, misses it. That could have been huge to take down Yukai, and now Nuclear in a little bit of an unfavourable position. Does get the shot towards Eurofish. Oh, just about switching positions, and like a dance they go through, but in the end Eurofish will find Nuclear, and this is not over yet, but TCM so low on HP. Surely this is Schoolbus's game.
Yeah, this is Schoolbus's game. Apoel's going to come off reloading that MX-1390, and it's simply down to the fact that they had the 2 Bulldogs. Well, TCM Gaming went for the M44, and Schoolbus just push in, overmatch without the artillery, and well, you can see how it goes down when you have 2 extra Bulldogs in the game. It's just so good. And I don't see a way a TCM Gaming can win this. Eurofish and Durs have done a great amount of damage, but this is going to be the last push.
Well, it's going to be the final ditch attempt for TCM. They know that it's gone too far. They don't have the HP, they don't have the tanks, and now they don't have the players. Just 1 man left. It's Eurofish up against 3, and it looks as though Schoolbus have done enough. Going all the way back into this. TCM must be kicking themselves for what happened on Cliff earlier on.
And 3-1 scoreline going into... No, it's 2-2. 2-2 after Himmelsdorf. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. TCM Gaming deserved to win that match.
They did.
They deserved to get the 3 points then, because that 1 round on Cliff, yes, Yasni pushed in, but it just shouldn't have happened. Just shouldn't have happened. And, you know, Schoolbus walk away with the 2 points, TCM take a 1 point. And that's not going to secure either of them. I mean, Schoolbus goes up to 17 points, but TCM takes 14 points, and they go to the same as Wusa. But Wusa was against Kazna, where they picked up 1 point, so that's 15 points. So literally it goes like Schoolbus, Kazna goes up, and so Kazna, Schoolbus, Wusa, TCM. So things have changed.
Things have changed. Maybe at the end of the show we might be able to see that. I don't know if we can see those rankings just yet, because I don't know. Things are hard. But let's maybe take a look at those rankings if we can in just a moment's time. But all in all, I think we had a pretty good play day. I think surprisingly good, considering.
We've had a great play day. I mean, the first 2 ones weren't particularly exciting, but the last one was great. So yeah, Schoolbus go first, 17 points, but the same as Utopia. That was after they win against TCM Gaming. Wusa go after taking 1 point against Kazaku, go into 6th. And then it's Kazaku and TCM Gaming on the same points. And that's the thing. Kazna and TCM are going to be playing next. But this... Oh, I don't know. Like, I think Kazna and TCM have really kicked themselves. Like, they put themselves in a really bad position. Like, they both needed the 3 points, and they both didn't get them.
Yeah, both choking when it really matters, it seems. And currently, your top 6, who will be joining us in the offline finals, kind of stays the same almost.
Yeah.
No one really made it in.
Apart
That's
from
the thing.
Schoolbus, like, they've got themselves further up.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's kind of insane to see, and I don't know what to expect. Kazna still have a lot of games to play out. They still have a chance in this
I think
to
Kazna
make it
will
through.
qualify.
They should,
just because they play
in whose
momentum.
place?
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're going to play momentum.
So they'd take Wusa's place?
Yeah. So, I mean, just looking on those ones, we got EPS who can still potentially as well. I mean, they've got to play Wusa. Wusa's got to win that. Schoolbus, they're not exactly safe either. They got to win against GG Well Played, which is going to be a hard game tomorrow. And then we got Kazna and Drooling Leprechauns. Kazna need to beat Drooling Leprechauns. Definitely need to beat Drooling Leprechauns.
Yep.
We got TCM Gaming, who's got to fight WASD Gaming. Sorry, it wasn't Kazna Crew. They haven't got to fight Kazna Crew. They've got to fight WASD Gaming. So TCM has one more chance. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's still all open after today. It's incredible.
Yeah, it actually got closer more than anything, rather than actually clearing up. However, it's not about us anymore. It's all about you guys at home and how they thought it was going down, how they can get involved, because we're still in Super Week, Melly, and there's a lot more action to come.
Absolutely, and you guys were, again, absolutely on point. Congratulations for getting it right and for choosing the right team to root for, 75% for Schoolbus. And yes, this was the 2nd day of our streaming Super Week, and there's more to come. Matchday 10 is over, Matchday 11 will start tomorrow, but first the standings of today: Virtus Pro versus Drooling Leprechaun, a very clear 5-1, and then Kazna Crew versus Team Wusa. First match we saw today on the deciding map, 5-4 in Kazna Crew's favor, and Schoolbus versus TCM Gaming, the game you just witnessed, 5-4 in Schoolbus's favor, again after the deciding map. Tomorrow The usual start at 6:30 p.m. As said, match day 11 will take part in its first play day, and the matches are, well, not even 3 matches. We'll be here for 4 matches. Isn't that amazing? We have WGL Played versus Utopia, Deep Tranquility versus Momentum, Evil Panda Squad versus Team Vuza, and Schoolbus versus WGL Played. I'm looking forward to it. Have a good night, everyone, and see you tomorrow.